Jeez. Foo Fighters getting a little dicey there. Thank God this is an XL channel. It's the Bennington Show on a Monday. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm Ron Bennington. In a little bit, we'll have Stormy Daniels on to talk about, did anyone touch her asshole or did she touch the president's balls?
Do you like that spanking story?
No. I have watched Anderson Cooper do 2 of these now.
I know.
And it's the least titillating thing that's ever happened. And, I mean, do you know how far you have to go to get me on Trump's side? I don't know what these women want. What does she want to do? What is the purpose of either one of these women saying this?
I guess the purpose of hers is to, now they're trying to say it's about being silenced and it's about using
You're silenced for money.
Campaign funds to do so, things like
That's
that.
not her. That's not her. That's,
Right.
his enemy. I'm saying to 2 women, what is it that they want?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure what exactly the point of it is. And I'm not exactly sure of the level of outrage because I've said this before. It's still, we're talking about, especially the previous woman who spoke, and I forget her name, but this was a consensual relationship when, we didn't have any reaction to him saying that he is fine with grabbing a pussy.
But let's just take it to Anderson Cooper's point of view. You had a lot of people watching. More people watched last night than watched the 60 Minutes in the last 10 years. What did you get out of it, though? Because I've watched him do 2, one on cable and one on this, and I don't still understand the point. What is it that these women want? They're not mad at him. They're not mad at Trump.
No. I'm not exactly sure. I don't exactly understand what the motive, particularly for the woman who had a relationship with him, was.
I think that's Anderson Cooper's job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these, at some reason you have to say, why are you on my show? Yeah. And he doesn't say that. And he doesn't tell us whether on the show. And yeah, you could get into that whole Bill Clinton, you lied about that. If you found out that, I don't know, that he did something. First of all, the physical act between him and these 2 women, nothing's illegal about it. What is your point? And they're saying we can't talk about it. You're fucking talking about it right now. What are you getting out of talking about it?
I don't know.
What is it you want? Stormy. Madness. Our televisions are fucking crazy these days. And I don't want to say that all women are whores. I mean, please.
Why would you even bring that up?
Because those 2 remind me. She's like, oh, look what I got myself into. Okay, now I got to go.
I know. I was like, I want to give her cat person.
I forgot about cat lady.
Yeah.
No, he was the cat person.
Yeah, he's the cat person.
And then we never got to see the cat. Was that part of this whole thing? That thing has no idea how real it became. God, I don't know what it is about America these days.
Well, the kids in America are doing all right.
Well, first of all, they're saying these are... somebody's talking about having sex with the president. They're on at 7 tonight. Giant ratings, 23 million people. Okay? There's 350 million in the fucking country. Are you telling me that many people don't give a shit? I mean, that seems to be the more apt thing. Most of these, shows where people are bitching about Fox News or MSNBC, those things get like 2-3 million a show. It means like you're 1% of the country watching.
Do you think that the reason is that way more people will then see it or watch it, but people watch the next day, or they'll watch clips, or they won't watch the whole thing, or they'll
Chris
watch
told
it on
me he
YouTube?
watched clips.
I watch clips, yeah. No TV, I cut the cord. At least to the cable TV.
You can't watch any live on your phone?
I know, I can't watch live on the phone unless someone gives me like a password to their cable account. Which I don't think anyone trusts to give it to me.
I didn't even know there was one, and I have cable.
Yeah.
God forbid you get locked out.
First, before anything else, the Joe List clip for you clip people, it's up on our Twitter right now. He was fantastic on the Tonight Show.
So
applause
funny.
break after applause break. and then standing ovation. But we got it up here. All right, I just want to point something out. I've never seen this before on TV. Look how big his mic is on his chest.
Yeah.
They don't do that to anybody else.
Right.
And I'm like, what
is he
is
soft spoken?
And I was literally, what did you think?
Is he soft spoken?
I honestly was like, what is he wearing, a medallion? Is that like, I don't know why you had it in my head. I thought it was a Star Trek. Fucking, I thought he was like him saying I love Star Trek. Now, I always go around and read some of the comments, and they raved about Joe List. I mean, there was raves everywhere. But one guy said this. He wore the same suit that he wore on Conan. That's gross. I go,
Wait.
Gross?
Gross. Do you know how expensive a suit is?
Yeah, and it's also 6 months in between. Yeah. Even if he wore the same underwear, it's fine. I don't know what happened with guys judging the way other guys look, but I can guarantee you this. It did not happen years ago.
There is so much judgment and so much fury that men have over particularly men who they perceive as either flashy or peacocky. And I think it started with the whole like hipster, he's wearing a hat, he's got a beard, he's got glasses. And then they just got obsessive. Like, I could understand if you were, let's say, either a woman or you're a gay man and you're going, I'm not really into a guy with a beard. That everyone can understand. But just being like, this other person who I have no interest in being sexually attracted
and
to,
yet you are.
I don't find this attractive.
I think any guy who complains about the way someone shapes their beard wants to fuck men. That is, I'm just going to put it out here. That's fact. Now, here's the other thing. You're saying the hipsters with the fedoras, right? With that thing that we got from NFL Films about the Eagles. They show the last Eagles championship in 1960. In 1960, you see the men walking into the stadium. None of them look like they're bringing children or their girlfriends. Just a lot of men wearing fucking fedoras and trench coats. I mean, like it's a uniform. What happened to that?
I don't know. I don't know why that's no longer okay.
But no one thought, oh, I want to bring my kid to a ball game. Didn't even occur to these guys. And basically looked like madmen went to a fucking game.
It's very classy.
And it's one thing for like fucking rip guys or little male models that care about the way they look. Vito talks about his physical looks so much. And I'm like, why don't you take care of your physicality then if that's your, you know what I mean? If that's your main thing. I've never seen a guy with worse hair talk about his hair as much as Vito does.
True.
I mean, what is he, a kid in America? I'm going to tell you something, Vito. With the greasy hair, you got to go get a different haircut.
I'm just growing it out. I'm going to keep it growing for as long as I possibly can.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, you look... It's not that it's long or even messy. It's the grease.
It's the wetness, perhaps.
It's nasty.
Yeah, during the day, I touch my hair too much and all the fucking grease from my hands.
See?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is
There's
a problem.
Man worried about his physicality.
Yeah.
I think
hand grease. That'll do it.
Maybe you need a part. Look at him. He wants to go over his hair right now. He wants to do everything. Try parting on the side.
Yeah, like the middle part is maybe not. Well, that's too far. I mean, that's.
I mean, what are you parting it from your ear?
Yeah, that's.
I think he's just trying to get a man bun. I think that's what the thing he
Again,
wants.
why do people worry about a man bun?
That
it
was
ain't
another
your fucking
one.
hair, you fruit.
That was another one that people got so upset about a man bun, and I'm like, yeah, I could get if you were attracted to someone. You're like, hey, I don't really like guys with long hair. That's not my preference.
Joe List, there he is. Come in real quick. Come in real quick.
Here comes Joe List.
So proud of you. Now, here, just so you know, look what we already had up. Your set
wow.
that's up there.
That's a bad. Are you guys on the air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Joe, don't want to bother you, but
No bother.
You were unbelievable.
Oh, thank you.
On the Tonight Show, but we tried to figure out why did they give you such a big microphone? Then
They gave me two microphones because I didn't want to have a handheld because I always think it looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
So they, I'm nervous. Is this on?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
And so they were like, you need a backup, and so they gave me 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like the handheld because it feels weird. I'm on a sound stage anyways, and I can see the clip. And then my hands are shaking, so just give me the no handheld. I don't know.
Why did they double you up?
And then they gave me 2 things, and there was like wires everywhere. I felt like I had an EKG.
But I'm like, what kind of medallion is he wearing?
It's too big.
Yeah.
And I just remember one guy wrote to me, and he wrote, "Would you wear a pajama shirt on tonight's show?"
We were just talking about why men care about other. Because somebody wrote to you, Joe wore the same suit that he did on Conan.
Yes.
And they wrote, "That's gross." And I'm like, and that is a man's suit. A man's suit.
Yeah, and also it's a $1,500 imported Ted Baker suit and shirt. I mean, that's not a cheap outfit. I also wore it to my wedding. And believe it or not, you can clean a suit.
Right.
You can wash a suit and then rewear it.
But that's like me saying, why is Nick Foles wearing the same thing to the Super Bowl that he wore at the championship game?
I think next time, if you want to use it for late night or a TV appearance, you have to prove, just like with a dry cleaning stub or something.
Yeah, I'll just leave
so you guys
like
know.
the little
this has
yellow
been
ticket on it.
cleaned.
Yeah.
Now, in your wildest dreams, did you think that would go that well?
I hoped that it would go well. I just didn't want to flub a line. I've flubbed a line on every late night I've ever done, and I didn't. I got through it. I felt good. There's actually a woman that yells out. Or she grunts. If you listen to it, I'm doing that joke where I'm talking about lifting weights, and I go, "Arr," and some woman went, "Arr," back, and it was very odd. For a moment, I thought about being like, "Hey, what?" And then
the crowd walking.
Yeah, and then also Jim Jeffries was on the show, and he had a couple cocktails, and I could hear him saying, "Oh, that's a great joke. That's a great joke." Like I could hear him. I'm like, "Jim, shut up."
Great joke.
But it was very exciting. Right now, I'm having a weird thing where I've been here all day. I did Nikki's show, and I did Jim and Sam. But I left my backpack and coat in the blue room, which I'd never done before. But the lady was like, "Put that in there." And I came back, and now there's a security guard with an earpiece and a button, a thing. And he's like, "You can't go in there. Someone came and grabbed your coat and backpack." And I don't know where it is. So I'm walking around.
I'm going to send Jen with you.
Okay.
Jen?
She's going to take care of it.
No, there was a woman with me earlier.
Yeah, they're gone.
I forget her.
Forget about her.
So you're on a big tour instead of just hanging out today.
Yeah.
You're on a big tour.
Well, she took me up to do Comedy Takeover, but I did it very quickly.
Right.
So I think that she wasn't ready. So she came to get my stuff. I don't know where my stuff is.
All right, we're going to have Jen help you.
All right,
but I
great.
want to just congratulate you. We're so fucking happy.
Thank you.
Everybody's happy
Also,
for you.
I watched the special this weekend, which was so funny that I physically hurt myself. I texted you because I had physically hurt myself.
Well,
and
that
I
makes
made
me
my
feel
boyfriend pause it, and I needed like a moment to get back because I had pulled a muscle in my stomach. So
Well, that makes me feel good. Everyone should be the recipient of as much love as that I've gotten the past
Good.
week. It's been unbelievable.
Let it
Thank
in.
you.
It's a big week for you.
I appreciate it. Thank
We're
you
gonna
guys.
Go get
Thanks.
your stuff.
Nice
Love
to see you guys.
kids.
Appreciate it.
Joe List.
Joe List. What a week. Joe List had big Netflix special and got a standing ovation on the Tonight Show. I'll tell you something else. He seems taller. He's, walking a little prouder.
Yeah.
He's talking a little louder. He's eating more chowder. Okay?
Was that part of the...
Now, wait. I just had him, the TV show Powder? That movie Powder?
Yeah.
I had it in my head that it was called Chowder. And I almost said Chowder, like that fucking movie.
Really? How?
I don't know. I'm really starting to be concerned about myself.
I mean, I guess chowder also can be white. It makes sense.
That does make sense. All right, 844 Rock Dog, 844 Rock Dog.
Rock God.
Rock God, I keep saying Rock Dog. Chowder keeps saying Rock Dog. It's Rock God. 844 Rock God. Give us a call. Here's Paul. Your name is Paul, and that's between you all.
Hey, Bennington. First off, man, I love Joe List. I've been following him all week, doing great.
It's an unbelievable week for Joe List.
Yeah, he did like every show in one day. Serious, it was great. But exactly to what you guys are talking, I'm a person who absolutely detests Donald Trump. I can't stand the guy, but it feels like I'm so tired of hearing every little thing he does. And I just wonder if, you're a person that's in the center and you constantly hear this coverage and everything the left is doing, do you think it kind of turns you off to the Democratic Party a little bit?
There's nobody that, look, the thing is, everybody is tired right now. Both sides are tired.
Yeah.
We need a spring break.
We also didn't get what we were looking, you know what I mean? Like, this is not, I don't think that it would feel great if for some reason it was a personal life takedown. That was the straw for me.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't going to be a takedown, I don't even think. Even with the Mueller thing, I was there when Clinton got impeached. They said, you're impeached. He said, okay. And then he went back to work.
Yeah.
He didn't leave.
I mean, my only thing is I feel like Mueller, this is my personal opinion, I feel like Donald Trump is hiding money laundering with the Russians, and I think that's something Mueller might uncover. But that's my concern. I'm really not concerned with who he sleeps with because, like you said, I voted for Clinton. So for me to get so outraged about this would you know, I don't think it's conduct of his president, but
he literally didn't do anything illegal, and none of it makes sense. But here's where we are right now. No matter what the story is, right? Trump's name comes up. The shooting, where's Trump's tweets? No matter what it is, the Super Bowl. Oh, how come Trump isn't at the Super Bowl? You know what I mean? Like, we cannot stop talking about this, man.
Isn't that ultimately what he wanted, Donald Trump?
I can't even tell anymore. I'm going to tell you the truth, Paul. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to hang myself with a belt.
I guess what the Stormy Daniels' lawyer is going for is that it's like the funds that were used to pay her off, and then the fact that she is claiming to have been threatened by someone in a way, and you know,
Who
I'm
cares?
not sure. Yeah,
that's their thing. But that was after the fact. I don't know what these women want. You want protection for your kid? Good. I'll pay for it. Let's just stop. Jen, did you find his bag and jacket? Bag and jacket.
Yeah, we found it.
Thank you.
Yay, Jen.
Because he's a warrior. That's why I want you to take him. And I thought maybe he'd get confused in the hall and wouldn't know what he was doing.
Scared. And then he could be abducted.
Yeah. Your bag and jacket. I did a big, I don't know what, internet show today called Live from the Shed. And if you didn't, and this is with Robert Kelly, Mr. Bobby Kelly, if you didn't see it live, that's because they don't play it live. I tried to say to him, you can't call it Live from the Shed if it's not live. And he's going, it's live when you see it.
That's not how that works.
No.
It's fresh when you see it, but it's not live.
No, it's taped from the shed then. That should be the show.
Chris, he's already got a beef with you,
Really?
So, yeah.
What did you do to Bobby?
I thought me and Bobby were in good terms.
You do not let him know when he wants to talk to me. That's why he went to Christine.
Really?
And then she gave him my number, but as I pointed out, the number to my burner phone, which I threw out on the way back. There's another very well-known comic who's like, I'm not going through Chris anymore. I want your phone number. I go, why do you want my phone number? He goes, because I'm going to have a barbecue soon, and I want you to come to it. It was winter when he said that, and there has been no barbecue. Mueller's lawyer, by the way, Gail thinks looks like Ari Shaffir, which I call flat out racism.
But he does. He does. No. Stormy Daniels' lawyer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who did I say?
Mueller.
You know what's wrong with me today? I just figured up. I had to wake up from an alarm clock today, and that's never a good day for me. This has been my life for many, many years. I wake up when I wake up.
That's nice.
And whenever I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. Why douche in my cunt now? Right, does this look like Ari, Theo?
I think this guy, he has an Ari look to him.
Beautiful eyes.
I think it's actually in the eyes specifically.
He's got beautiful eyes, and so does Stormy Daniels.
She does have very pretty eyes.
Yeah, just stunning eyes. Most porn stars aren't known for their pretty eyes.
I'm telling you.
Whose lawyer is this guy? Is this Trump's lawyer?
With the pink tie there.
Yeah, he's got what I would call hungry eyes. Hungry eyes. Like Vito's been obsessing on his fucking hair. You know what I'm going to get you, Vito? A fucking blow dryer. So you can dry the grease every day when you come in. And then what will it be? Just lard in his hair?
I don't know.
Ill Harden, definitely.
Have you been using the dry shampoo?
I have not bought the dry shampoo. I've just been using the baby powder.
No, buy the dry shampoo. Use that on the days that you don't wash your hair. You don't wash your hair every day, right?
I've been washing my hair every day now.
Maybe that's the problem.
That is a problem.
You're shampooing every day?
And conditioning.
Oh, that's where your grease head.
And your hair isn't long enough to really. You got to do a 2-in-1.
Oh, so the
fucking
2-in-1.
First of all, anybody who does a 2-in-1 is an idiot.
No,
Cheap fuck.
2-in-1?
No.
Always use 2-in-1.
You buy peanut butter and jelly in the same fucking jar?
I have
Disgusting.
Let me tell you something. When you use 2-in-1, you get 0. It ain't enough shampoo and it ain't the right
Now, your
conditioner.
girlfriend hasn't put a stop to a 2-in-1?
No, she has not.
Because that seems like once you have a lady in your life, she goes, what is this? This is in one bottle? This
She's
can't
a
be
fucking
good.
Costa Rican. She has no idea of our grooming. She comes down in a fucking tub in the front yard. Somebody fucking has a bucket of water over a fucking fire, walks it down, pours it on her back. When are you going to Costa Rica, Chris?
Don't know yet.
Gotta go to Costa Rica.
Beautiful landlocked country.
You know, Gail has brought up a point, though, about what she like, and she hasn't changed her look or anything.
No.
And you say she doesn't cook at all, right?
Not really, no.
Not really. What does that mean? Not really.
Rarely cooks. We usually just go out.
Cook what? Toast? What does she cook? What meal has she made
She's
for you?
cooked breakfast before.
Okay, but guys.
That isn't cooking.
Yeah, guys.
Every fucking man in America can make bacon and eggs.
Yes.
We're talking
That's
about sit down to a dinner meal.
Oh, no. That's an all. We always just go out.
All right, so she doesn't fucking shower.
She does shower.
But I
You
mean, with
said
the
she
2-in-1
did it.
product, she uses the same 2-in-1.
No,
as
she
you?
doesn't. This is stuff at my house I use.
Yeah, but when you're at her house, what does she use?
Oh, her products. She has many products.
What products?
I don't know, man. Like fucking. Like
What does she use? Head and Shoulders? Does she have a dandruff problem?
She uses shit I've never even heard of. Like it's fucking like it looks very.
That doesn't
expensive.
mean anything.
I don't know.
None of this means anything.
I know Pantene, Head and Shoulders,
Pantene.
Pro V?
Pro V. Yeah, is that
Fancy Pro V?
That's the shit I know. She's using some other crazy
What
shit.
was there was a time in this country where we went through like sour apple, like with
Oh,
when
yeah.
girls were like in junior high school.
Yes. There was a phase of that. Then there was a phase of cucumber melon. This would be the early aughts. There was a cucumber melon phase that I was like, we need to get the fuck over. I did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy it. Like 50% of women smelled like cucumber melon.
I use kale and avocado shampoo.
That's so good. Avocado is really
good
good
for
for
you.
you. Yeah.
I use the No Tears one that looks like a fish.
What?
Oh, you don't.
That's so fucking funny. There was just a picture of him crying in a tub,
No tears.
and then the Ghostbusters know
Oh
over
my
it.
god. That's so funny. I feel like I haven't even seen that since like my brother was like a baby.
By the way, so Bobby is in this very suburban, nice neighborhood, and you know the backyard looks like a boy's backyard. There's just stuff. You know what I mean? There's just stuff that he hasn't brought in, and then he comes out and he's wearing a Ghostbusters t-shirt. Adorable.
And it's so cute.
Yeah. So I say to him, I go, we got to do Creeps for Kids again, because I go, I have been. This is a show that he got comedians turning around talking about their kids. I always felt like me and you, Gail, had a unique relationship.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. And yet, I saw the way Voss and his kids get along, Florentine and his kids get along, and I'm like, that's weirdly similar.
Yeah.
To us, right? And yet we didn't take it any stages past that because, Bobby dropped the ball on it. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it again.
When I met Luke, I was like, oh, yeah, I know you, dude. Like,
Yeah.
It was very familiar to me.
I know. And that's how I felt. So I said that to Bobby, and he goes like this. Yeah, but I'm not like Florentine or Voss. I don't like all the dirty talk out of the kids. I try to treat, immediately he tried to point out that he was best dad.
He's good dad.
Yeah. And then those two kids wanted to play with each other, but fucking Chris didn't put the message through.
Oh my God.
You don't want that
Chris.
reputation.
I don't. I have to.
You
work
have
on
the
that.
reputation of a guy who doesn't get back to people.
Well, I'm going to fix that reputation.
How?
Because I don't by trying to reach out to them to let them know that I'll get back to them. Like reach out first. That's the only way right now.
You're guessing.
Reach
I'm
out
not-
first. So what are you just going to say? You're going to call every comic and go, do you need to talk to Ron?
I'm going to send out a group text.
I'm starting to be.
mean,
People
that's-
hate a group text.
Oh,
by the
okay.
way.
All right, then single text.
No,
then.
that a group text in that scenario would be an insult.
I see. This is why it's good that I'm talking this out first.
All right.
But why didn't you know it?
This is up on the iBank today, Vito. Jillian Michaels says she's tired of people using touch-ups and photoshops on their fitness pictures. I didn't even know that was true.
Well, yeah, like everybody in the fitness community, they'll do some slight touch-ups, like tighten the waist a little or get rid of stretch marks and stuff like that. But Jillian Michaels, as you know from The Biggest Loser, is totally against that.
You agree with her or you disagree?
I think if you're promoting fitness and promoting having a better body, I don't think you should be touching up your photos because it's like
Tell that
cheating.
to this magazine. They've been doing it for a million years, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, those magazines, like they do tricks, like the same thing like fucking fast food commercials do. Like the guys on that thing are obviously like oiled up. They do workouts right before, so they look even.
You know, they do that in movies too. Like right before a scene in the movie, a guy will be pumping on it as fast as he can. Then yeah.
Oh, really? So he looks all.
Yeah.
You know what I learned
blood's
that?
going.
What was that? The vampire girls of the Northwest
Twilight.
Yeah.
Twilight. They said that the werewolves, because they would be shirtless,
Oh,
they
yeah.
would just pump, and then just go be in the scene. And I was
Those
fucking-
dudes were jacked.
Yeah, they were jacked because they just worked out that second. It's like if you wanted to carry around weights with you all day when you're fucking at dinner with your friends.
Well, vascularity is really big right now in the fitness world, and that's
What's
like
that?
looking veiny and like having veins
Oh,
popping out.
come on.
So
That
that's-
can't be good.
That's why guys
You should see the back of Jola's balls.
That bag of worms?
All right, here is one, and I really enjoyed this being said by Steven Spielberg. He says these Netflix movies that come out,
Yeah.
they put them in a theater for a week or two, and then directly on Netflix. He says they shouldn't be able to get an Oscar. That's not what a movie is. Because that's a TV movie.
And Cannes is banning them any Netflix originals.
I did not know this.
Yeah, so the head of Cannes is like they let him in last year to like try to like get them to be like, all right, we'll put it into theaters now, the Netflix originals. Like, you know what? No, we do not want any Netflix originals in our film festival.
Even if they're released in a short release
They
in a
said
theater.
if it's a Netflix original, it will not be allowed in the Cannes Film Festival.
They put all their things in for 2 weeks so they can go up for awards.
Right.
And somebody has won an award. I forget, some actor.
Yeah.
I think Idris Elba for Beasts of No Nation. That was like the first one that
I
came
didn't
out.
even know that was in Netflix.
Yeah. That was like the first movie they did, and that was the last one that was like critically acclaimed, I guess.
Yeah, they don't get critically acclaimed now, do they?
No, not
Everyone
the.
says, come to Netflix. You'll see the artists doing their worst work, but they're going to get a lot of money for
Well,
it.
that's what happens when you're like, we have 700 programs of original content. It's like, how much of them are great, though?
But here's the thing. You're paying for that movie. They're paying more than if you went and did a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
And then they go, just do what you want. It goes to show, like, a lot of times you can't give the artists the chance to do what they want. They turn in shit.
The Will
Here's
Smith
a
one
bucket
was,
of shit.
the Will Smith one was one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and it was in theaters in New York for like 2 months, I think.
What was that?
Bright, the one where it's like
That was a Netflix movie?
that was a Netflix movie. The one where it's like the fucking fairies in modern LA.
Bad
Can't say that.
Homosexuals.
No, they were mythical fairies.
That's not. You know what? It's 2018. We're trying to be fucking woke these
I'm
days.
woke, bitch.
I'm not.
I had a fucking buzzer go off to wake me up today. I'm cranky.
He's too woke.
They were fairies, like mythical creatures, and there were ogres and stuff like that. It was all mythical.
Isn't it like
We
he's
don't call
talking to
women.
a child? There were
They're
fairies?
fairies and ogres.
Dad, look at me. Look at me, Dad. There was fairies. Like, not a bad fairy, but like a kind of a good fairy, but he was black.
So you saw it.
damn. He's got a fucking saltwater taffy in his mouth. So agree or disagree with the Spiels?
Yeah, I think he's got a point, but
the kid's got a point there.
He's got a point there. I think that the problem is that so much of there is good content on Netflix, and I get that, but
here's the point. If it's good enough for everybody else who's an actor to vote for it, why are you stopping it, Steve?
Yeah.
You know what's not going to get an Oscar? Ready Player One. If you want to stop something from getting an Oscar.
I mean, you don't want to be living in the past.
Yeah, who are you, Joss Rotel? No. You're the Spiel doggy.
Come on, Spiel doggy. Bark with me, Spiel.
First of all, let your wife act again. Is that a problem? This up on the iBang. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. Rick Santora told the Parkland kids, stop protesting. Do something useful like take CPR classes.
Just so specific and weird. That is such a weird thing
Learn
to
to
say.
help people who just been shot in your school.
How is that good problem solving? That doesn't, obviously.
Practical.
It isn't.
There was somebody from, I guess, the NRA who goes, they're basically doing the thing that the kids are attention whores, right?
Yeah.
And they're going like, if your friends hadn't been shot, nobody would even know who you were. And they exactly.
Yeah. That's the point, dude. They're saying, don't you wish you didn't know who we were? Shouldn't we just be living our lives like regular kids?
What's the Gonzalez girl's name?
Emma Gonzalez.
This fucking kid, now he's trying to figure it out. How do you come on the scene like that and have such charisma? I mean, to me, she's got more charisma and a better speaker than anyone in the Democratic Party. And I'm not fucking making that up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Between her and the 11-year-old girl who stood out there and just crushed her speech, I was like in awe of these kids.
None of these kids fuck up.
Yeah.
Is it because of YouTube? Like they know how to be on TV now?
I have no idea. I have no idea what it is, but I know that they're so confident in what they're doing. I mean, could you imagine stepping out and saying, like, not only that the world, that the world is watching, but stepping out in front of that crowd and just being a kid and doing that? That's fucking impossible.
It's impossible.
It's really, really crazy.
I know Chris couldn't do it because I say, and when I have him do warm-ups for me sometimes, I'm fucking crazy again. Remember that day you fell down in front of the whole audience and had to drag yourself?
I had to. It was for...
He had to drag himself in front of people because he blew out a knee. Was that your ACL?
MCL, actually. It was for David Cross Unmasked, and there used to be giant speakers out in the lobby with like a big tripod at the bottom. So I'm walking backwards, like, come on, everyone, for Unmasked, I'm going to seat you. And then I'm walking backwards.
See how he even knows when he does his fake voice?
Oh, yeah. And my left foot got caught in the fucking tripod thing of the base of this fucking giant speaker. And I go fucking down. I go down hard in front of everyone to much laughter.
Did they laugh?
Yeah, they laughed.
Aww.
And then I had to drag myself up and then fucking limp my way as I'm bringing people into the goddamn studio to seat them. Tried to pretend, no, I'm fine. Everything's okay.
I didn't see him go down, but I see my producer acting like a Quasimodo maniac. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Went down, boss.
Can't have you around humans. I'm going to tell you something, Chris. I never tell you enough. You're the best around. Nothing'll ever take you down. You're the best around.
Chris, why are you singing the song he's singing to you?
Because I know it and I appreciate it.
You sing happy birthday to yourself?
I'll say happy birthday to me.
Yeah, no one likes that kid. I like to be the kid that goes cha-cha-cha.
That kid's cool.
Real cool. I was one of the first. Look, I got to tell you this. So I'm with Voss over the weekend. And Jay went on before him. And the whole time. And I'm enjoying Jay's show. I'm laughing my ass off because Jay is... I don't know how he says the things that he says to him. I'm just saying that. But Voss is behind me going like this. And I'm not making this up. And he's serious as hell. I was sitting on the stool years before Jay. I'm like, were you? I'm back watching. I sat on a stool before Patrice did. Sat on a stool before fucking Cosby did. No one ever brings it up. So I'm going to bring it up now on this show, on Raw Dog. Rich Fox was sitting on a stool before any other known funny person.
He's like, why do we have to stand up?
But he wants the credit as the guy who sat on a stool. He actually even brought it up to the audience. You see the whole sitting on the stool thing. I want you to know something.
Wait, is this true that they had photoshopped her ripping up the Constitution instead of ripping up a fucking gun target?
Yeah, she had. It was a picture of Emma Gonzalez ripping up a gun target, and that was photoshopped to be the Constitution.
And were people like getting upset? Like this is
it was
fucked
fake
up?
news. It was traveling all around.
Yeah, it went viral. Like, you can't believe this shit. No, it was just a fucking Photoshop. Like the balls of this kid just rip up the Constitution.
It's not even a good Photoshop, though.
No, it's not that bad.
There's white lines on it.
I mean, it's,
where do you see the white lines? I don't know how to.
If you look right by her arm, that white line is like they did a shitty job, and the background of the image got there.
I thought that was implying a rip.
Yeah.
You know, like
no, that's just a bad copy and paste and crop.
I couldn't do it.
It fooled me.
I like how they gave her dark circles under her eyes, though. Like,
844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. Our buddy Hard Rock Johnny is a rock god.
Bennington.
Yeah.
What's up, Bennington?
How's it going, Johnny?
How's it going?
By the way, Chris, this is totally froze now. This whole thing, instead of being a nice thing, it's a horrible thing. Johnny, what can we do for you today? What would you like to talk about?
I would like to talk about how that poor girl's giving this great speech. I'm watching it with my wife, and I said, I think this girl's going to throw up because she's very excited. And then the cameras cut away, and she just comes back and coolly says, I just threw up on international television, and I don't care. And this continued on with her amazing speech. I mean, little kids, they're doing the right thing. It's kind of amazing. And she rolled with the puke on CNN.
This was the girl who was shot, right?
Yeah. She's one of the
she was
ones
shot?
who's actually shot.
I did not see this.
Yeah.
I did not see. I heard about it.
She got nerves. She started to like feel herself gag. She goes off camera.
Here's the thing that was weird. She threw up a bullet. Johnny, your wife is a teacher, right?
Yes, I wasn't going to bring that up because she makes fun of me when I say that.
Do you want her to carry a gun to school?
Absolutely not.
Is she a good shot?
No, absolutely not.
I try to wonder what grade I would have been shot by the teacher in. I'm pretty sure there's a very good chance my 5th grade teacher hated me so much that she probably would have fucking kneecapped me.
I think somewhere between
teachers shouldn't have guns.
Somewhere between 3rd and 5th, I feel like it probably would have happened. Once your like wise ass stuff stops being cute.
Yeah.
I'd go 5th grade for myself as well. Mr. Bauer.
What about you? Good boy, though, right?
Sophomore not in college. In high school, I was a dick, and there were teachers. Them teachers did not like me.
Them teachers didn't like me, boss.
There was one English teacher that was harassed because she couldn't hear. She had hearing aids, and so she was constantly fucked. Just like saying shit in class.
She's the one with the hearing aids. Copy it, Griff.
Is that what you would do to her?
Once or twice, sure. But then some days she cried. It was not good.
In 7th grade, there was a fucking kid in my class. Now, without moving his lips, he could sound like a cat. Like he, meow, meow. And we had this older teacher, and she was looking constantly, and then she's like, "Who's here, a cat?" And I'd be like, I thought I saw the shadow of one run by. And I'm going, I think it's in the ceiling. And she would have us stand on chairs and just tear apart all the ceiling panels. And by the time they got to the fucking principal, he was so viciously angry because this woman had been teaching for 58 years. And this was going to be her way of going out. Yeah. Being treated like this by these fucking half fucking psychos. That kid was fucking hilarious. They hate a funny kid in school.
Yeah, they really do.
This fucking kid one day just got in the closet and stayed in the closet, and then every once in a while he'd open the door and just stick his head out while she was writing and go back in, and that's it. That's the kind of dry wit he had, and we would fucking die. We were laughing.
Physical comedy.
Yeah, I love that kid. If there was ever any kind of disruptive kid, I was like immediately like, me and you are gonna hang out together.
Yeah, we're friends for sure.
All right, Johnny. Talk to you later. Peace.
Later.
Peace, Johnny.
Rich in Philly.
Hey guys, listen, I'm never ever going to get tired of people speaking up about Donald Trump because it's only going to prove to the country that we put a used car dealer in the office, and it's going to prove that he did strong arm these women and he's doing everything possible. So I'm never ever going to get tired of it. Ronnie.
I know, but we don't have to hear about it 24 hours a day. That's what I'm saying.
Do, Ronnie.
It becomes fucking white noise. It stops being effective.
No,
it's like having your chick telling you what you know what I mean. Like sooner or later, that guy's just like, I know, honey, I know. I'm always late for everything.
That's what happens, though. They want us to stop talking about it and forget about it, but we can't. You know what I mean? Every campaign he stopped, right? He mentioned the wall. He mentioned Mexicans. He hammered it in. We have to, it's a lot of shit to put up with, but we got to keep doing it. People seem to forget, right? And I'm going to give you an excellent point, Ronnie, and I love you guys for always doing so. You guys bring up Puerto Rico. The fact that Puerto Rico is still in the shithole, not in the press, because it's not being reported.
It is, and that's because they're too busy with this other shit. They're fucking...
Yeah, I know, Ronnie.
Yeah.
But we got to keep nailing it in. His ineffectiveness and his administration is what led to Puerto Rico being fucked up the way it is, and the sooner we get him out of office, even if we don't, at least we're going to switch over the Senate and the Congress to Democrat, and then we're going to see some change. But this motherfucker, we got to keep the pedal to the metal on this guy.
You don't even have to tell them. They're doing it. I'm looking up now. It's 3 different fucking channels. I saw the Republicans were so mad at Trump this weekend.
Yeah, and Coulter came out.
And Coulter and the other one who's got that show around 7, 8 o'clock. She's like, I don't know, is she like Dr. Joyce or some shit like that? She was pissed at him. All because he signed that fucking paper. Well, this was hilarious. So he said, I signed it just so we can have the military money, right? But then they gave $500 million to Planned Parenthood. And that's all those motherfuckers give a shit about.
Yeah, that's
you know
all
what I
they
mean?
care about.
And they're like, you gave them $500 million.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, when it comes down to everything at this point, everything feels like 1 or 2 policy voting. You know, like whatever the 1 or 2 things that you give a fuck about, that's how you choose what party you go to.
Bill in Colorado.
Yeah, you were talking about that kid in your class that made the cat noises.
Yeah.
I went to high school with that Michael Winslow. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Michael Winslow used to have on my show all the time in Florida. He's the guy from Police Academy. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he was incredible, and he could annoy the shit out of all of our teachers. And it was honestly hilarious for about 3 days. And about the 5th day, you wanted to kill the kid. You know what I'm saying?
I just like the idea that like he could just do like the fire alarm. He could do anything. Is that the bell? Go.
By the way, I always felt the same way about a police academy. I'm like the beginning. I'm like, this is great. And I'll just stop fucking acting like you're a mad dog. Thanks, Bill. I'm sure he was a king in high school. You can do all that fucking shit.
Absolutely.
I'd be like, tell him, Danny McGinnis, please keep quiet with the cat noises. Michael Winslow is here. Michael Winslow used to come in and do radio, and he'd have his own microphone that was specified. He'd come in and plug it in.
Oh, really?
And then we're like, is he cheating, though, by doing that?
Do you think it's just like his own like modification that he knows like how?
I think there's some sound effect buttons he was pushing. And he was doing stand-up, and just like, again, with the 45 minutes, it gets a little old. No, we got it. Fucking cheap. But he used to do a really great Hendrix. He would do the guitar and the voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When we take a break here, kids, It's the Bennington Show. I said break, not go into something. We're right back. Bennington. Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington.
Hello.
First father-daughter radio team in the history of father-daughter radio teams. We're number one.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you can't be best, you're first. Speaking of first, if you get the opportunity, tweet and just say to Rich Voss that you recognize him as the first person to sit on a stool while doing comedy. Chris doesn't like to push any of my gigs. He actually put up my Connecticut gig as it was happening on Sunday instead of Saturday. It's Saturday, Chris.
Saturday, March 31st.
Careful with the tweet trigger.
Got it. Ron's performing at Fairfield Comedy Club in Connecticut Saturday, March 31st. That's this Saturday. 2 shows, one at 7 p.m., one at 9. Go to fairfieldcomedyclub.com for tickets.
Now, could you just say that as Chris Stanley instead of radio guy?
Okay. Ron's performing at Fairfield Comedy Club in Connecticut Saturday, March...
That's not the way you talk.
Okay.
You don't know who you are right now, do you?
I feel like I do.
I know who I am, and I know where I'm going.
All right. So I went to visit some friends this weekend, and I have a question that I would like to pose to you guys.
Love it.
Or propose.
Chris, I think we can take any question right now.
Oh, yeah.
At what age would you say it is no longer acceptable to have a messy home or apartment?
50. Well, look, here's the thing. If you don't have little kids,
right,
jump straight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that you can't keep your bedroom messy, but your living room, there's no reason to leave that messy.
I'm telling you that I went to visit some friends who I have not seen in a while.
Yeah.
Men, obviously. That was obviously going to be the situation here. And the apartment situation that I walked into was no different than I would have visited them when they were 19 years old in a dorm. No different. And we are very much older than that.
How many of them live there?
So one person lives there.
Yeah.
The other person is visiting from California. And so he had been living there for a couple days with him.
Look, you don't want to live like it's Project Mayhem. That's not...
Dude, this situation was Project Mayhem. And I'm sorry if either one of them are listening right now. I love you very much. But this is like maybe one of the grossest situations I've ever walked into. It's not just that it was like dishes overflowing. It wasn't just that it looked like 2 or 3 days worth of trash and recyclables that were just like piled up in bags that weren't thrown out in the kitchen. It wasn't just... that it was like beer cans everywhere on every surface, which I should mention only one of them drinks. So that's an important part. Only one of the guest drinks. The person who lives there does not. But the floor was a carpet of clothing. Now here's the scenario in which I said, yeah, he's in town. I would love to see you guys. I would love to see you both. That would be great. Do you guys want to get dinner? Why? Because I'm an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, why don't you just come over? This was their suggestion. They knew I was coming, and that's what I walked into.
Did you point it out?
I was like, well, like, I think that they could tell immediately that from my face. And he was like, I should have probably cleaned up a little. And I was like, a little would not have fixed this. All right. So the guest had left because he had a date. So I was sitting there with a friend of mine who lives at the apartment. So we're catching up because we hadn't seen each other in a long time. And I'm sitting on the couch and I look down at my lap and I'm wearing black pants like this. And I look down at my lap and I'm covered in hair. Now look, I have a dog. I don't really judge when someone has a pet, but I'm looking down and I'm like, does he have a cat? And what is this cat situation? Because it's like I'm in cat person. I don't see a fucking cat, but I'm covered in this very light colored hair that happens to be very short and blunt. And then I look and I see my friend and he's looking at my lap and he goes, do you have a cat? And I said, I sure don't. I don't. This is from sitting on this couch. The reason was his friend had shaved his beard into a towel after showering, threw that towel on the couch. When I was coming over, he was like, oh, we got to get this towel off the couch. I guess that was the one thing they thought to do. Thus, covering his couch with beard hair.
Dude, I'm sure there's pubes still.
Literally wearing, because it was a date. It was a date.
Yeah.
I was covered in my friend's hair. Covered.
Oh.
Like, itching through my pants, like, all over my crotch and butt.
It's basically like if he gave you face.
It was so gross. And I was like, I love you guys, but this is
I'm out.
The grossest thing I've
This is
ever.
the last time
and
I see you.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking that, and my friend said to me, so, like, you know, I know you wanted to get dinner. Do you want to order food? And I was like, no, I don't. I don't want to order food to this home. I don't want to eat food in this house.
That's horrifying.
And we're talking about not people who are in their teens. We're not talking about people who are in their early 20s, mid 20s, or late 20s. We are talking about two adult men who are in their 30s.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. That's so embarrassing.
I mean, is that the gross
That's
thing?
bad.
I wore his beard.
Ew.
You know, here's what I like to say, the lighter side of the news. This is the man who invented sitting on a stool at a stand-up show, Rich Voss. Rich Voss, the originator.
How's it going? I get in my car coming out of a place, and I see all these tweets. But let me explain. I think you got this wrong. I said Cosby was the first, but I was the first real modern-day comic to sit on the stool.
I discussed it with your wife the following night, and she believed that you were before Cosby, or at least that you had told her that you were before Cosby.
Well, I don't think I was before Cosby, but he's kind of like null and void right now.
Yeah.
So,
and now the other thing about Cosby is he wasn't sitting on a stool. He put like a regular chair out, and he didn't do this until the 80s. And then he started to really man spread. I mean, I saw Brain in the 1980s with Cosby.
Oh, my God.
Well, I guess it subconsciously invites you. Anyhow, yeah, maybe I did bar stools. When I used to work the comic strip in Fort Lauderdale,
mm-hmm.
And this is no lie, and I was the first, and I don't think anybody else did it. I would sit on top of the piano, with my legs.
Yeah.
On the, I
like you're a pretty dance hall girl.
Well, I kind of felt like Cher.
Sure.
During Gypsy Tramps and Thieves. You know what I mean? I sat on the piano. So I have opened up the door for many comics to sit down and relax. And, when I'm at a club in New York and a comic goes on before me and sits, well, you know what I mean? I'm saying, hey, what else are you going to do of Rich Voss? What else?
Right. But see, here's the thing. I think it would be nice for Jay to say to the audience, Rich Voss started this, but I'm going to sit down and rest my dogs a little bit and have a chance to chat with you guys. But I mean, after a while, like Adele comes in, she goes, Ronnie, what is this, a furniture store? She goes, why is everybody sitting down? I go, Adele, just let it drop, just tonight. Give me 5 minutes.
Well, I went up after Jay, and I told the audience why he wears those gloves, because he used to be a magic act, but he burned his hands, and that's why he has a blue streak in his hair.
Yeah.
The blue streak magician. Jay can sit down. I've passed the torch to all these younger guys, sitting down, doing crowd work, doing whatever they want, because I've already accomplished everything I need to accomplish in this business.
If that's the case, Rich, if that's the case, I'm thinking about sitting down, but then also using an ottoman. No one's ever done that before.
That's original. Maybe get a lazy boy up there.
I'll go out with a light.
I would.
You're mid joke and then snoring.
I would lay down. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When you're at the top of your game, and I'm, pretty much at the top of my game, I don't want to
headliner.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If somebody's, hitting home runs all year, you're hitting home runs. That's all,
Right.
I could do comedy, standing on my, whatever. I'm just saying. So I'm not going to let it get to me if I'm in Vegas and a comic is standing on his head before me, which has happened, or a guitar act is playing Born to Run, and then now our headliner,
Yeah.
Hey, it's
You can do it all.
in the day. Yeah. And guess what? April 10th, I hate to throw plugs in, but April 10th, we're doing a live My Wife Hates Me show at the Village Underground, where we'll all be sitting, and we have a celebrity marriage counselor, and you've done it, and it's probably one of the funniest shows you'll ever see.
You're not going to tell us who the celebrity is?
Bobby Kelly.
Dude, I was just with him today in his shed. He's doing that show out of his shed. And Rich's name came up like 3 times. People,
Bobby.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
People bring you up no matter where I am at every opportunity.
Bobby's shed has stretch marks. You drove up all the way. I want to do that too. I want to do Bobby's shed.
Yeah.
Anything Bobby gets involved in, he's great at it. He's a great comic. He's a great person.
He's unbelievable. He's the best.
He really is. He's really a good guy, and he's so funny. And he's just one of my better friends in life.
He also has like his eyes are so young when he starts to laugh at something. Like he literally has a child's eye, maybe because he had no childhood of his own, but he has a child's eyes when he's excited about something. What a darling man.
Yeah, he's a good person. It's great to be in a business where you're surrounded by such, you know what I mean? Like
all the time, yeah.
And Keith, it's so great. Like when you're going to work, when you're going to New York, even the other night last week, I did a one night private show Thursday night. And I mean, whatever, it was horrible. But I could have been home in 45 minutes. Instead, I drove 40 minutes to New York just to hang out, even though I wasn't working. But it's so much fun to be with comics, and it's even more fun when you're with your friends that are comics.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You know what I mean? It's really good. Anyhow, listen, I'm going to go fill this empty void and buy some white sweatpants.
Smart.
I don't know why.
Smart move.
No,
I was really. I've been wanting to bring that up to you for a while, and I'm glad you're doing it now. I'm glad you're taking the step. Good. All right. Thanks, Rich. Rich Voss, everybody. Make sure that My Wife Hates Me is the funniest fucking show that you could do, and I might even go down and watch them do it with Kelly. I'm telling you, I was with Bobby Kelly all morning. He's doing this show live from the shed, and I don't know what it's called. It's like it's only for his like VIP type people.
Is it Patreon?
Okay, Chris, that's the word.
Yeah.
Guess what? When I was on my way there, I'm like, how do you get Patron to fucking put this up? I honestly, I thought it was Patron.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm like an idiot. I'm going, I hope they don't expect me to do a shot of Patron. Maybe I'll do one shot. It's for work. But I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, I don't remember where I was going
You were
with it.
going to say that Patreon.
Yeah, I was going to explain what it was. See, here's the thing. I got woken up by an alarm today, and everything else is fucked
feeling
up.
off.
I just was walking down the hall and threw my phone in the trash. I'm fucking tired, but I was doing that. And I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to get rid of that because people have my number. And then I'm going to do something with Voss again, with Voss and Florentine, like we did before, because that was the fucking funnest. And hopefully Luke Florentine will be joining in. Ba-ba-ba-doo-doo. So many funny people, though, that we know, right?
I know. We had our Joe List pop in today.
Well, Joe List, just watching him the other night. That's another thing. Adele's like, did you see Joe? 14 applause breaks, and a standing ovation. I go, Adele, why doesn't that happen here? Because I watched them put that set together. What is it? What's wrong with your audience? They're not fucking leaping to their. What are they fucking better?
That set was.
They see
killer.
them some better as the Tonight Show audience. Have you seen Rachel Feinstein's?
Yes, I watched it. I watched it last night. It's very, very funny.
Who wants to remind me to see that when I get home tonight?
I will.
Chris?
Yes.
You're the same person that doesn't let the comics get through.
I will let them get through, and I will text you tonight. I'm going to set an alarm on my phone to text Ron.
I'll remind you just in case.
No, you won't have to.
He loves both of you guys. Stop fighting.
If both of them were drowning, right? You can only save one.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you save?
Vito.
Jesus, that was fast.
Yeah.
Ron, who'd you save?
Vito.
Come on! I mean, I really can't swim.
Can I tell you why?
Saving, yeah.
I believe the children are our future, so I'll save them from drowning first. By the time I got back for you, you were already down. Plus, Chris, because you can't swim, I'm worried you're going to put the dead man's fucking clasp around my neck.
I promise I won't. I'll feel safe in your arms, bringing me back to shore.
And I come to you with broken arms.
What happened to you?
Fell on my chest. Tried to rest my broken arms.
I hope you're not coming to me because you expect me to mend these broken arms.
Mend these broken arms. We could turn this thing to a whole fucking salute to the 80s.
And a salute to broken arms.
This is another thing that I thought was childish. So I say to Kelly, it's good. Just don't even worry about it. So I say to Kelly, because he's a drummer and he's got a drum kit in his fucking house. I go, I never hear you talk about music. What do you listen to? He goes, I'll listen to anything. I go, but what is your favorite thing? He goes, I don't know who everybody is, Ron. But if I hear you put on some music I like, I'll get it. I go, that again is like a 3-year-old.
That's like how children enjoy music. That's like adorable.
It's always a surprise to a kid when a song comes on, their little body starts going. But they don't go, you know what? I thought Def Leppard lost it. And this is really important. You know what I mean? Like, they don't passionately love music.
They just like the sound of music.
Isn't that weird?
And they all do. Why do babies just love music?
And why is Bobby Kelly a baby? Adore that guy. He was playing a drummer on a TV show.
Yeah, and then he learned to drum for real.
And then you find out that Chris doesn't sit around and listen to Fish. He went to Fish concert fucking 9 years ago.
It's been a while.
And it was 9 years.
Yeah.
And you bring up Fish anytime I try to talk music. But then I figured out, you don't listen to music in your spare time.
Yes, I do. I just haven't been to Fish shows in recent years.
What's the last? Did you listen to music this morning on the way to work?
I did not listen to music on the way to work. No, I did not.
I did up and back.
I can't. I don't think unless I'm reading a book, I'm listening to music.
I normally do both at the same time.
I can't. Unless it's classical music. I can listen to classical music and read a book.
When I was a kid, I remember laying on my couch and I was reading the Mutiny on the Bounty trilogy while I had just gotten a new Allman Brothers album. So I had the Allman Brothers on constantly. And I can't separate those two now.
That's weird.
They're locked into my brain. Because if I think of Mutiny on the Bounty, I think of Dreams, that song by I'm hung up on dreams. Now, here's the guy. If you know that he loved music, he'd be running to that. Like every producer I had in my life would be running to that. And he doesn't. He doesn't move. You've done it before, though? Kim?
Yeah, I had that experience with... I had that experience with Hearts in Atlantis. I was reading the book Hearts in Atlantis. This is when I was in high school. And then I was listening to Weezer, listening to Pinkerton at the same time. It was on in my bedroom, kind of light. And I remember that there was a scene in the book that the two kids are on a Ferris wheel and kind of have like their first kiss when they're at the top of the Ferris wheel.
That's beautiful.
And the song Falling For You by Weezer was playing at the same moment. And I can't listen to that song without thinking of that moment in that book. I'll just wait.
This reminds me of being on a Ferris wheel.
I got one here. Now just what am I supposed to do? Got a number of
You remember when this album came out, the critics hated it, and so did the fans.
Yes.
And then years went by, and then people changed their mind.
Yes.
I think they were right the first time.
No, you're so wrong.
This is teasing.
God damn it.
This is teasing.
See, that was a passion that I have, Chris.
Yeah.
That's a passion for music.
He doesn't understand.
I would have
because
fought him right now.
Once, 9 years ago, to this very night, he saw Fish. His friends dragged him off to it just as the fucking dope was kicking in. And he acts like he likes somebody doesn't. Andy in Atlanta.
Chris, you're full of shit. You're not a real Fish fan. They played in Madison Square Garden 13 nights in a row last year. You didn't go.
You didn't go to one.
No, I didn't. I'm not going to fucking Fish shows. That's the problem with Fish fans.
Then stop bringing them up.
I will stop bringing them up.
You're not allowed to use the word fish anymore.
But this is the problem with Fish fans. If you don't go to enough shows, they start yelling at you and talk down to you.
But you just went to the one, right?
I've been to more than one Fish show.
Ever.
Two?
A good baker's dozen.
Can't be bothered.
I agree with this guy. You're a piece of shit when it comes to being a fan of Fish.
POS, dude.
No, I'm a fucking real dude, all right?
What other band do you like?
I like Weezer.
Okay, do you have a favorite Weezer album?
No. I mean, I like Weezer. Like, I remember the videos.
Let me ask you,
Yeah,
can you fucking name a Weezer album? See, he does it. You know why he say he likes Weezer? You just played it.
Yeah, that's probably why. Do you have a least? Because here's how you know you're really a Weezer fan.
All right.
Do you have a least favorite Weezer album?
I mean, I like pieces of all the albums.
Here's not too long ago.
Yell out of color.
I fucking put on. That's funny. Your favorite color?
Just yellow color.
Black.
He says to me, he goes, I play a Todd Rundgren song at the beginning of the show. He goes, man, I gotta start getting into some Todd Rundgren. I start going, well, here's a great play. I start giving him stuff. And I saw him fading away as I thought I had him for a second.
Because what he enjoyed was the moment.
He enjoyed spending that moment with Daddy.
Yeah. You like music when it's on.
Sure, yeah.
But you're not like going to seek it out. You're not going to listen to it on your spare time.
no.
Like when you're home, do you
Yeah.
put on music when you? Well, I was going to say cook or clean, but that's not going to be the case.
I do neither of those things.
So, when do you listen to music?
I mean, like, I guess if I go to the odd show or something, I'm normally not listening.
But like in your home life.
Oh no, it's usually silence in the home.
Now, here's what happened. When I was going up there this morning, I had two drivers. Didn't interact with either one of them. I went humble pie all the way up.
Nice.
Thought about you know who. I'm going, wonder if I ever got around to humble pie. Came back listening to the JNR going, it's perfect for like a humble pie thing. I'm pretty fucking proud of myself. I kind of found the humble pie of the late 80s. And then I listened to their Hair of the Dog cover and I'm like, I might even like this better than the original. And all of a sudden I look up and there's their building. It makes time go by nicer. You didn't even listen to the fucking music on an airplane.
Oh no. I'll like go through the TV channels if it's possible. But if there's no TV channels, I'll read a book or the New York Post.
We haven't had one TV on any of the flights we've taken for the past few flights.
Well, me and Jed split a smutty book.
Okay,
yeah, you kept putting it on your crotch too. HR will be talking you.
I wish they wouldn't.
By the way, Liz Sets Fire said that she couldn't see when I was talking about who would you save. I made Gail answer, and then Liz Sets Fire said I couldn't save either one of those 2-ton anchors from drowning.
I don't need to be fat shamed, all right? I'd be buoyant in the water. It wouldn't be as bad.
I don't think you would be, because I saw you.
I almost floated to my death in St. Martin, so I have evidence that I can float.
He says float. He doggy paddled. He doesn't even understand what any of this is. If you can doggy paddle, you can swim.
Yeah.
I can only do it if it's in a life or death situation. I don't think I can do it for fun.
Well, let's test it.
Oh,
I'm going to take you out and throw you in the river now. Today was so much colder than I expected.
It was cold, yeah.
I came out in a t-shirt. feel ridiculous.
I got news for you though. I was
shirt right now.
I was way upstate this morning with Bobby Kelly. It's warmer up there than it was down here.
Really? You know what? We get the wind whipping between the buildings.
I don't like that at all. That wind can fucking blow me.
The Hudson Hawk and the East River Mama.
I got news for you.
I don't know if the East River.
No, that's what we call it, the East River Mama. I got to ride like the wind. I got a long way to go to make it to the border of Mexico. But I got to ride like the wind. Stop it, Chris.
Okay.
You never get around any of the fucking good songs. I'm making fun of a song. And that's the other thing about him.
Yeah.
He never knows what the fucking... Then he's like this. Yeah, that Billy, Don't Be a Hero is a good song. Oh, Chris, I was kidding.
Oh. Thought it was good.
All right, this some story was put out over the weekend, and they explained all the different ways that Disney killed off parents in movie. And I think you could be 2-year-old or 90-year-olds, and you could go to that Disney movie that either scared you, terrified you, or broke your heart when you saw it. And I remember the one for me. Do you remember the one for you, Gail?
Yeah, I mean, I remember the ones that I find the most disturbing because they're all fucked up. I mean, all of them. But it really matters about your age when you see it.
Right.
Because you have to think, this could happen to me. I am this child character. And what if this happened to my parent?
Exactly. You find it makes you think for the first time, oh, my parents could die. And in Chris's case, they were 100% right.
Yeah,
do you remember which cartoon it was for you?
Yes, I remember watching Bambi as a child. And not only was it the Bambi's mother scene, which is horrific and so heartbreaking and sad, but it is also, there's a scene with 2 pheasants in a field in the midst of the hunter coming.
Yeah.
And the 2 pheasants are laying low in the field. And the one's like, he's coming right now.
Oh,
and the other one is like, I have to go. I'm scared. And she's like, don't fly. He's right close by. And then the bird goes like, I can't. I'm scared. And she flies and he fucking shoots her out of the sky. And I'm like, what?
But that goes to show you can't panic.
That's horror.
You can't panic. That's to try to teach the children, stay fucking tight.
Between those two things, that movie is sick and disturbing.
I think I have one that's even worse than a death for me. If I even think about this, I really do. My eyes could get wet. And that was Dumbo couldn't get to his mom because she was in that thing. And they were reaching their noses at each other. And I was just crushed by that. And then they move on with the story.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the mom out of my head.
I know. Baby of Mine. She sings Baby of Mine and she's trying to reach her baby through the...
That's slavery.
That's horrible.
I mean, that's basically... It's like, look, Vito, you just rubbed your eyes. Good. I'm glad. You're sensitive.
Sad.
But it's almost like finding out about slavery the first time, and then they're like, sometimes they sold the slaves baby. You're like, what? What kind of people were they? Well, they didn't know then. Really? You don't know. I go,
simpler times.
I don't want to judge Southern people, but who sells someone's baby out from underneath them? You're crying a little bit thinking about Dumbo.
I really can't.
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive. Because then I started to think about another one as I was saying it, which is not a Disney, but it is a cartoon. And it is Land Before Time. And the mom brontosaurus dies and Littlefoot is on his own. But the thing is, towards the end, he sees her in the clouds and he's running for her. Get the fuck out of here. And when I was a kid, I'm not even kidding, I used to watch that movie over and over because kids are sick and for some reason they want to watch the same shit. And I would put that movie on. I would work myself into just a frenzy of tears because I was thinking about my mom being taken away from me. I would run upstairs to my bedroom after the movie. I would go to my window. I would drop to my knees and I would pray to God to bring back the dinosaurs. Please bring back the dinosaurs and please make me and my mom and my dad and my whole family dinosaurs.
I have fucking killed you.
Dude, that's what you said at the time. And then when I came down and talked to you guys, I was crying. You go like this, keep me out of your prayers. That's what you said. Because you didn't want God to turn you into a dinosaur.
He could.
Well, young lady, I heard your wish.
Is that how God speaks like that? Like he's the Wizard of Oz, but backstage Wizard of Oz?
You and your parents are now brontosauruses.
There's this legend in my family that Well, I wasn't even born yet, but I heard the story told so many times. So my dad and mom take my sister and my older brother to see Pinocchio, right? And they're watching the movie and it's packed with fucking parents and kids. And the scene where Pinocchio ends up in the whale's fucking belly.
Oh yeah, scary.
He said, my dad said, we're watching that movie, and my brother yelled out, "Call your father!" And they retold that story so many times. How about that thing with his grandbaby?
I know.
That was
too much. I was bawling this morning.
Boy. Chris, you got one of these?
In Lady and the Tramp, there was that old bloodhound, Trusty.
Yeah.
And then at one point, he like gets run over and is like left for dead. And that fucking, when I remember seeing that in theaters, I lost my shit. My mom and my grandma had to get me under control because I was Trusty's dead. And then they fucking leave him there. Like fucking the tramp is just out of there trying to help Lady. It killed me. That poor old dog.
No,
it's terrible what they do. They make you fucking care about this old dog.
I know. That's what Walt Disney was kind of sadistic with children.
Yeah.
And they said that also, like he would run previews at Radio City. He had 5,000 kids there. Afterwards, he would go around and feel the seats, see how many kids peed themselves in fear.
What a sick fuck.
What?
He wanted them so scared that they pissed down the seats. And if not, he's like, boys, we got some dry seats. We got to get back and re-edit some of this shit.
Here's the thing. Yeah, he felt it, but did he have to smell them all? That just seems like fetish.
He wanted to know whether it was fear or just FOMO. And the kids didn't want to go back. Chris cried in a fucking Disney thing because he dropped his Jolly Ranchers on the floor.
I like cherry.
He couldn't even find them. He went around licking the floor, licking the rug.
That's a kernel.
I can't even picture you fucking crying and kicking yourself.
I know.
Oh, I lost my shit. It was not, from what my mom tells me, it was not pretty. They almost considered leaving the theater because I was losing it so bad.
Why wouldn't they take you out and try to fucking calm you down?
Yeah, let everyone else enjoy the film.
Forget about them. You got a young man having a fucking panic attack because Trusty, was that his name?
Poor old Trusty, the bloodhound.
You sure it wasn't Rusty?
No, it was definitely Trusty.
Why was he so trustworthy?
He was like a cop dog or something. I haven't seen the film in a while.
Steve in Texas, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah.
So, the movie Homeward Bound was two dogs and a cat trying to make their way back home.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the movie, there's a scene where the old dog is like standing on, I don't know, some rickety wood or something, and it gives way and he falls into this hole. And then the next scene, the dog's not there. My daughter would just she would scream, crying. She just bawling her eyes out every single time.
Yeah, it fucking hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, like Disney even made the film Old Yeller, and that made like an entire generation of kids fucking die because Old Yeller had fucking rabies. And was it up to the kid to go kill him?
I think so. Or is that, I know that happens in the yearling too. But I think Old Yeller, he had to kill as well. For some reason, the premise of both of these is like you love your pet, and you're just like, no, Pa, I'll shoot him. If anyone's going to shoot him, it's going to be me. What? Why?
I guess I'll be the one to kill my beloved dog who's like a brother to me.
Sick.
Michael in Oregon. Michael.
Hey, you guys were talking about some crazy movies that touched your childhood, like Land Before Time and all that.
Yeah.
You guys remember The Brave Little Toaster?
Yes. Of course. Yeah. First of all, that could drive a kid to being a hoarder, but...
And it didn't help me because I already had a thing where I felt like inanimate objects had feelings. So that shit really fucked me up.
By the way, does anybody ever think Brave Little Toaster should fucking sue Toy Story?
It's a good point.
Thank you.
It's a great point. They're just like, instead of appliances, toys. Same concept.
That thing that you're fucking rooting for the appliances to get back goes to show you how fucking propaganda works. Never in my life did I think, oh, I'd rather have my old frying pan. You know what I mean? Like, new is better. But you can't say that in a cartoon. But I guess the whole thing, I think that the appliances are supposed to represent his parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because what you don't realize...
Because he's going to college.
Yeah. What you don't realize when you're a kid is like your parents realize that they've only got you for a couple years. It's not a long time.
Yeah.
And you're like, and now they'll leave? I know that from when Gail and I started doing the show together, the amount of dads that wrote to me who have young girls but were afraid, like, I guess when she's 18, she'll never even want to be friends with me. They're like, how do you do it? And I go, one thing, just fucking chill the fuck out. Charles, what's up? What made you cry? Charles in charge?
Yeah.
Okay.
I read the book when I was in school, Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh, fuck yeah. Again, dog death.
Yeah, he raises like 3 dogs from puppies to hunt raccoons. And then one of them gets like gutted.
Yep.
And he has to like kill the other one for some reason.
Yeah, I read that book and I was crying while reading, and I can remember like tears dropping on the book as I was reading it. And his old Dan and Little Ann were his 2 dogs, and Little Ann gets gutted completely, and then like old Dan can't even live with himself because Little Ann is dead, and then I think that dog just dies of sadness. Both of his dogs die.
When a kid is reading something or watching something and the dogs die, it would be no different than if they killed off a child in the movie.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That's the same.
Because a dog is like a kid to you when you're a kid.
Yes. And that's the thing that you care for, right? Like, you see vulnerability and you see yourself in a pet. So children are like, remember that was like 9/11? All the kids were so concerned about the dogs and the pets and everything.
My favorite thing about 9/11 is that the kids would send postcards off from around the country, and they would post them up on walls everywhere. And the kids would always write about animals. Like, I hope you got all the dogs out of that building, which I had to point out, it's an office building. I mean, there's no animals there.
I'm pretty sure there was 0 dogs in that building.
There was more of a chance of people that weren't allowed down to their apartments that the dogs starved to death.
Probably.
Or the dogs got cancer from breathing in all that.
Oh.
But the other thing that kids did everywhere is that they had the towers like on fire with a frowny face.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they had the plane looking like a shark mouth.
Yeah.
And I would be sitting and reading this stuff, and I'd have stitches in my stomach because they're
sweet.
beautiful innocents.
It's so sweet. You remember the one that we saw? We're like, this kid did not understand this at all.
Yeah.
And it literally was just like the towers. You see something flying into it. And then written in crayon, it just said, the bird flew into the building. You're like, this dude did not. I'm like, the funniest thing is, that was a teacher who said, everybody, let's write something, we'll send it to New York. And you're like, you sent that one? I just chucked that one in the trash. This kid didn't know what was going on. Nobody explained to him.
I'll say this to every teacher who let one of those get by. Thank you for the joy. Even like a couple years ago when I was in the hospital, they had a bunch of those things. They had saved them.
We were dying.
And I'm in terrible pain, and I would just go up, read it, and fucking was crying. I was laughing so hard.
The bird.
Yeah. The bird
I guess a bird flew into the building, and now everyone's sad.
That would have been Vito's stupidness, where he thought Osama bin Laden was coming into his house.
With a knife between
What do you
his teeth.
got, the fucking Pentagon Papers then, Vito? Andrew, PA.
Good morning, everybody, or afternoon. I ironically just had my family watch Where the Red Fern Grows last night, and they all hate me today.
Yeah.
Little Ann was the last one to go, by the way, and the first one. Have a good day.
Peace. That's really sad, though, right? And it's sad that a father would go, I want to share this with my children.
I would keep that away from my kids.
I saw the Fantasia 2000 re-release in IMAX when I was a kid, and that fucking devil scene that pops up in the middle where everything gets really dark.
Yeah, that had one.
And
All Dogs Go to Heaven had that exact kind of thing where it was like a huge devil and a demon comes out. Really fucking dark shit.
Yeah, and I was like 7 or 8, and it was in the IMAX theater with the gigantic screen, and I was just like, I don't know, I fucking cried. I couldn't handle it.
You would have been one of those kids with a piss puddle.
Oh, yeah. It was one of those kids with a piss puddle.
All right, here's a thing that I guess a representative put up a meme. Steve King of Iowa, posted a meme of Emma Gonzalez crying and had, "This is how you look when you claim Cuban heritage, yet don't speak Spanish, and ignore the fact that your ancestors fled the island when the dictatorship turned Cuba into a prison camp after removing all weapons from its citizens, hence their right to self-defense." Now, her dad is from, was a Cuban, but this little girl, A, is American, and B, even if you disagree with her right now, just saw people murdered in front of her. Like if somebody that I disagreed with politically was there in a school which got shot up and was talking about it, I'd be like, she's a little upset now. Let's give them time. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go out of my way to try to fucking prove to her. And because your parents are from somewhere.
Yes.
You're not a Cuban now. You're an American.
Also, I think we all understand in this country when people have they have connection to heritage that Americans do that, right? They're like,
Yes.
oh, we're Irish, or
Yes.
like, oh, we're from somewhere else. And all of those places have bad history and things that they've done. This child is an American, and
Yes.
she's a girl who witnessed her friends murdered.
Craziness. We live in a crazy fucking society. Kyle in Ohio.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Hey.
Yeah, I thought of a very sad movie just out of nowhere. The Never-Ending Story when the horse died in the swamp.
Yeah.
That shit was fucked up.
It was pretty graphic. That fucking horse took a while to die.
You know what else was sad in that movie?
Oh, Jesus.
How about this?
Not what?
These hands
Oh, yeah.
used to be so strong.
Let his friend slip right through his hands,
Oh,
and then nothing
my
got them.
God. These hands.
So
There's
sad.
nothing worse than when a strong person is no longer strong.
Yeah.
Like even an animal farm when the fucking couldn't pull anymore. Oh,
really sad.
We were talking about the school shootings. I mean, there was a school in Pennsylvania that came out with the idea of putting a bucket of rocks in each one of the classrooms. And that's why you could stone the people as they came in.
They get a 5-pound bucket full of river stones. Each classroom gets that. And that's how, as a last resort against a school.
Yes, that would be
Well, it's the only resort, first of all. Also, can we at least get a slingshot? Something. I mean, you're just you're just
security guard
like
gets a slingshot.
They've already turned it. They've gotten so many people fucking with them. They go, look, we were just spitballing at the time. That's the Blue Mountain School, and Gail has a relative who graduated from that school.
Really? No, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. That's
near the farm.
Do alumni get rocks?
Chris, I don't fucking say anything about where'd you go? Bronx fucking Science?
Brooklyn Technical High School.
Okay. Bronx Science is a better school.
It is a better school, yeah, but who wants to go to the Bronx?
Apparently, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He would have had a better time at Brooklyn Tech.
Really? Would he be fucking running the museum planetarium right now?
I don't know. He could be in the running for it.
I doubt it. If anything, he'd probably be selling fucking pencils to the guys at Fleet Week. Mike, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie. When I was a kid, my mom took me and my brother to follow that bird. And when they painted Big Bird blue and locked him in the cage, my brother cried so bad she had to take him out of the theater.
See, do they know that they're going to do this? Big Bird is a giant baby to other children.
Yes.
And to see him spray paint. Justin, what can we do for you?
Yeah, one of the movies that always got me was Short Circuit 2, when they beat the shit out of the robot with the crowbar and he's screaming, "Why no?"
Yeah, I know.
That's the one that always got me.
Yeah, I like sometimes that kind of shit is worse. Like when you when you find out stuff that has feelings that you didn't expect.
What was that? There was a Disney movie, I think, with a bunch of like small spaceship aliens in like a tenement in New York City. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, batteries not included?
Batteries not included.
Yeah.
Right, so there was a little one, like the littler robots was all fucked up, and that messed me up.
Oh
as a
my
little
God. I can't remember. Like someone hit it or knocked into
I
it.
hate that too when they
and
start
it was like,
I'm like, no, come back.
Oh my God. I loved that movie as a kid.
So did I.
Forgot how great that movie was.
I saw a movie when I was a kid, Doubt, where one of the priests had molested a little black kid, and then the mother came back. You leave that boy alone. He needs someone to watch over him, even if it's a terrorist. And I remember crying so hard because I thought we were going to a cartoon. When I was in kindergarten, the older kids, anywhere from like 6th to 8th grade, right? We're in kindergarten. They came in and they did some kind of Aladdin play, right? Oh, what the fuck it was. At the time, it seemed to me to be spectacular. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, these young adults are crushing it. So then they were giving out like these fake emeralds to all the kids. And I didn't get one. I think I was like a little shy or something. And the kids ran up. And I even remember saying to a girl, I didn't get one. And she said, we're out. And then when I saw my mom later, I was just crushed about it. It's like, it's junk. I'll get you a toy later. And she got me a toy that was nowhere near an emerald.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she didn't get the thing. I just didn't want something from the store.
It had sentimental value.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw a piece of art.
Thank you. I wanted something that I would remember the day fondly. And here I am all these years later. It's got to be 12 years now. And I still feel sad. And I'm still mad at myself. Like, this is why I tell you, you got to push when you want something.
You got to win.
You got to win. Now let's do it for Johnny. Do you cry at the end of that movie?
Oh, are you kidding? I cry anytime I watch the movie, and again, it's another time I remember crying so hard I was like crying into the book as I was reading it.
Did you cry more for Johnny dying or Dally?
I cried at both, but I probably cried more at Johnny because of the drawn out nature.
Yeah,
it was really,
back.
and the speech,
and then Stevie
Stay Gold,
Wonder.
and I mean, it was like the whole thing. Oh God, can't even. Like if you were to listen to it, I mean, you would really know.
I know. What if that would have came up right then?
Chris?
So slow.
Can I show you what he had to Google because he couldn't think of the name? It's literally the main things.
What did he Google?
Stevie Wonder Pony Boy. He thought the name of the
I
song
couldn't think
was-
of the Outsiders.
No, it's called Stay Gold.
I know, but I know.
Hold
if I
on, you're stepping on the fucking sad song. Take it back to the beginning then.
Okay.
This is Stevie Wonder's best song. Oh God, this reminds me of my friend, the Outsiders. Why do they have this shitty video? This isn't about fucking being in Hawaii during the 60s.
There you will be so young and carefree. Again, you will see that place in time. So go still.
You remember Stato Cape Boy. It's heartbreaking music, though, right?
No. Where is old Daddy anyway? I hope I never see Dallas Winston again.
Or I'd probably blow him.
Pretty sure that's what she said.
I'll dry hump him.
Hey, 2-Bit, Mickey's on TV.
But can it be when we can see
all those young kids grew up to be drug addicts?
so vividly?
Why is this?
That's not the point. It's not that kind of sunset.
And yes, you say.
What is that? Pony Boy never saw that.
All right,
That's
there's
a fucking planet that doesn't exist.
multiple moons in this. Whoever uploaded this terrible person.
Pony Boy.
Tom in Ohio.
Yeah, the movie Brian song. I don't remember how old I was, but I know I was married. And
He was married.
And I'm come home and I'm sitting there crying, and she'd asked me what's wrong, and I couldn't seem to. You ever try and talk while you're crying? You just can't make it.
First of all, I saw it when I was a kid, and I was crying, but like I had a hole in my lung also, like my lung was punctured. And I'll tell you what it is: a black guy and a white guy become friends and teammates, and then the white guy dies. Forget about it. And I swear, I thought this was as good as any movie, and I went back and watched it. It was shot not like it was even a TV movie, but like a TV episode.
Oh, really? I feel like I've seen it once when I was really young.
Gail Sayers was the greatest person ever. Oh, this is the saddest song ever. Brian Piccolo is my friend. They were, and this is a true story, they were the first black guy and white guy to share a bedroom on the road. They shared a hotel room. And it was like, and they basically played the position. And I'm sorry, if Gail Sayers is in the fucking back room, he's starting. I don't give a shit who else is on that team. Sweetness could be on that team, and he wouldn't have made the Bears. And then Brian Piccolo gets fucking cancer. Forget about it. That killed me when I was a kid. To this day, I can't share a room with a black guy.
Oh, that's why?
Yeah, only reason.
Because you don't want to get cancer.
Yeah. Listen to this fucking song. They should play this when kids graduate from elementary school. You get on now. I'm dying from cancer, but I want you to go out and go 3-12 with the Bears this year. They had the worst teams. David, Santa Cruz.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie, you remember the movie in the 1970s? It was called Silent Running, about the two little robots.
Yeah.
Have to stay behind in that geo dome.
Yeah.
He had to leave them behind.
Yes.
That was sad.
Later, Mike and the Mechanics made a lovely song about it. Charlie in Delaware.
Hey, greetings from Dewey Beach.
Ah, the great Dewey Beach.
Yep. How about Marley and Me?
Well, first of all, that was set up to make people cry. And second, it's odd you call it from Dewey Beach, because that used to be a beach that used to let you take dogs on it.
Oh, really?
I don't know if they still do, yeah.
And there's a dog beach scene in Marley and Me.
Yeah. I love a fucking a dog on the beach. But apparently people hate that they shit on the beach and that you might end up putting your blanket on that shit.
Who cares? There's dogs on this beach. What could be better?
Look, I throw a stick into the water and he jumps out at it.
It's so fun. Yeah, I watched Marley and Me, but I knew that I shouldn't. Like, immediately I was like, this is not a good idea. That's why I didn't watch that fucking dog movie from, like, last year.
Dog's Purpose.
A Dog's Purpose. I heard the premise of this movie, And it's literally like about a dog who's reincarnated so many times he's trying to get back to his childhood friend. So I'm like, so how many dog deaths am I going to see in this movie for him to get back there? There's no way I'm watching this fucking movie. No way.
It's a dog's purpose. That's the thing. They got a purpose. Die for us. Paul in New Zealand just had his daughters watch this. Paul.
Hey, Ronnie. My wife hired it, and I didn't watch it with them, but every 15 minutes or so, both my daughters would be crying in the other room as each of these dogs dies and then gets reincarnated. I just thought it was the most sadistic movie premise I'd ever heard of, and Gail just basically said it everything.
Yeah, it was sick.
It was so awful. I couldn't believe she brought it home.
Now, this, when I was bringing up Brian's song, this was sent to us, and I didn't know this, but it was a movie of the week, right? Brian's song. And they're saying it was so successful and so popular that they released that TV movie into theaters.
Oh, so it really wasn't meant to be like that.
No, it was. It was a TV movie.
Right.
And then they took a TV movie and put it in theaters after they played it.
That's crazy.
I don't even know if that's true. I'm going to be totally honest because I have zero memory of that. But if it's on TV now, you're like, why did everybody? I'll tell you why. You weren't fucking expecting it. And I remember that when my whole family was there when I saw the movie, and I took my face and I was crying so hard, I stuffed my face into the couch, and like I could hear them like touching my back a little bit, but I also heard giggling because I had lost all breath. I couldn't believe. I didn't know. I don't even think I knew what cancer was when I saw this, and I didn't know a black guy and a white guy could share a hotel room. There was a scene in that, and it was James Caan and Billy D. Williams, and Gail Sayers is one of the greatest backs of all time, and James Caan, Brian Piccolo wasn't. He was a blocking back or whatever, and Gail Sayers would be so. So they come back and they see each other in camp, and they're getting ready to race against each other in the spring camp thing. And Brian Piccolo had just had a baby, and he said, "Hey, I named the baby after you." He goes, "You did?" He goes, "Yeah, Spade Piccolo." And then they race, and Gail Sayers is laughing so hard. Now, could you imagine if that joke tried to get on now as part of a cancer movie? But that was to show how much they loved each other. Hey, G-Man.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Ron, if you'll allow me, since we've never met, I'd like to briefly describe myself, and I think it'll help give you some imagery with my story. 6'5", 220 pounds, got a full sleeve tat. I'm a combat action ribbon holder. I'm a Marine Corps vet, Iraq vet. There is a commercial on TV right now. I have a 5-year-old daughter. There is a commercial on fucking TV where the dad and the daughter kind of shows their life, and at first, the toddler falls, and the dad's there to comfort her, and then she falls off her bike and skins her knee, and the dad's there to comfort her. She gets into like an accident when she gets her driver's license, and the dad comforts her. The very last scene, they're at her wedding and dancing the father-daughter dance, and she's comforting him while he's crying. I will fucking lose my shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking like big fat tears off the cheeks cry, like embarrassing ugly cry.
Look, I'm lucky my children don't marry, but if they did, that sounds like it would be a wonderful. I'm telling you right now, Gail's cousin has a daughter, and if we showed you this video, as awful as you are, Chris Stanley, you would cry.
Wow.
I think you would. It's impossible not to.
It's the sweetest, most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen. What are you going to do? Jim, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, the movie My Life,
with Michael Keaton and Nicole Kidman. Have you ever seen that movie?
Is that the one where he turns into a snowman and tries to come back to his family? Because that's pretty sad.
No.
That one had me in the front of the movie theater crying, and my mom demanding her money back.
Well, your mom was correct. Everyone should have demanded their money back from that. I was crying too because it was so awful, Vito.
Snowman melted right after my father died.
Like your
I
dad
went to
did.
go see that movie because the previews looked like it was going to be a funny movie, and it's about a guy with cancer, and it was horrible. I cried. I'm not ashamed.
Well, I'll just say this. Thanks for your service, buddy, and try to pull your shit together now. Oh, wait, that was G-Man. That was a call before. Chris, this is what happened when I have to get up early in the morning.
Set alarm.
I can't wake up with an alarm. I have to sleep and wake up on my own.
You woke up this morning to alarm clock warning.
I took the 8:15 to the city. They had a whistle up above us. People bumping, people shoving. What are you doing, Chris? Just why? Do you know how annoying that is when you just dump papers in front of us?
I try to put it nicely in front of you.
So what? I don't want to be getting papers. I want to sleep as long as I possibly can.
I watch you too.
Robert, what's up?
Yeah, you ever seen the John Cassavetes movie of his life story?
No.
Oh, it's 3 times worse than Brian Piccolo. You'll be crying.
John Cassavetes, the independent filmmaker?
No, John Cassavetes, the Heisman Trophy winner.
Oh, that's Capriani or something?
Cappelletti.
John Cappelletti. Yeah, with his little brother. See, here's the problem with it. That was a ripoff of Brian's song. They found another kid, and his brother that used to fucking idolize him had some kind of cancer or something.
So they're like, let's cash in on this Brian song.
Yeah.
Vibes.
And believe me, Cappelletti's fucking professional career should make a lot of people cry. It's surprising how many people win the Heisman and do it.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot more busts.
Did you watch any of the games last night?
I did not, no.
Jesus Christ, I thought you were a man. This fucking kid from Duke is
Less
ending
than.
his career. He's the kid that always tripped everybody and was such a fucking red ass. And, I mean, it's the end of the game. It's a tie game. He's got a fucking layup, bounces to the basket, back to the backboard, back to the rim, falls out, and then they get blown out in overtime. And you had to think, like, I mean, you're not making the Final Four by a 10th of an inch, maybe?
Oh, my God.
Maybe even a 12th of an inch. And I've been taking care of business now. Well, maybe we'll put that thing up tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe we'll put that video up. Jerry. Jerry, what's up, buddy?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, the Royal Tannenbaums, when Ben Stiller, at the end, when Ben Stiller breaks down to Gene Hackman, boy, I don't know why. I don't know if it's a father-son thing, but, man, that just gets me. I mean, it makes me just cry. I don't know why. My wife and my kids laugh.
Well, I mean, the father dies that hasn't been around his children, and that his father was closer with his grandchildren than he ever was his kids.
Mm-hmm. I was like that moment when he says something like, it's been a hard year, and he's like, I know it has been, Chazzy. It's so sad.
I haven't cried. He goes, oh, yeah, we got another body buried out here somewhere.
That was so fucking funny.
Put a brick through the other guy's window.
Chazzy, I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Mix it up a little bit. Aaron with 2 A's.
Hey, what's up, Ron? How you doing?
Hey, man.
Good. I just, y'all talking about stuff that makes you cry, and every time I hear something about this, I'm gonna watch a movie. I flash back to my wife. We've been married for a couple of years. I've been deployed a couple times. We get here to the stateside and decide to start a family. You know, the wife says, "Oh, I think I'm pregnant." So, I go out, get a pregnancy test. We're gonna come and see what's going on. I come back home from going to the store, and she's just sitting on the couch just bawling. And I'm like, oh, my God, what's wrong? did you miscarry? What's going on? She's like, oh, I'm too embarrassed. I don't want to say. So after some back and forth, she finally goes ahead, and I'm like, all right, I need to know what's going on. What's making you cry? Well, she's sitting there watching Die Hard 2 of all things. And at the end of the movie, when they reunite, she just starts bawling, crying. And I start cracking up. I'm like, well, I just wasted $30 buying a bunch of pregnancy tests. If you're crying over this, you are 100% pregnant.
That's hormonal.
100%.
That is hormonal. What is it, Chris?
Oh, we have a guest coming in, Miss Kathleen Madigan.
Oh, do we? It's going to be so lovely to see Miss
wait.
Kathleen Madigan. You want to start and let Vito do that? Why? You got to be a guy on the air.
Look, I'm doing the girl thing. Okay? One girl.
Oh, thank you so much.
Kathleen Madigan stopping by.
There you
She's currently on her national boxed wine
That's
and
the
Bigfoot
Chris I
tour.
know.
KathleenMadigan.com for tickets and all her dates. And her special, Bothering Jesus, that's available now on Netflix.
What song we got for her, Vito?
I don't have a song for her.
Kathleen Madigan's here to make us glad again. You're not going to be the guy who does stuff for comics coming in?
I can be the guy who makes songs for comics.
You have been. You're just not doing it. You have been now for 2 years.
I didn't know I was the song guy now.
You didn't know that? We have a guy who sings and you just send the stuff to him? All right. If you didn't know, you didn't know. Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington. Kathleen Madigan's in studio.
Yay!
Kathleen's currently on her national boxed wine and Bigfoot tour. KathleenMadigan.com for tickets and all her dates. And Kathleen's special, Bothering Jesus, is currently streaming on Netflix. And her album, Bothering Jesus, is available now on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, and iTunes.
By the way, was that cheer a little too much for you? Did you have a late night last night?
No, I just feel awkward cheering for myself. I
haven't
reached that level of narcissism yet.
Yeah.
Yay, it's me. Yeah, that'd be weird.
Well, you hang out with Louis Black, and he has. So you know how it is.
Well, Lewis can cheer for me on a golf course, but that's all. He said if we run out of subject air to call him today, he's sitting at home in his apartment with nothing to do.
Well, how good of a golfer is he?
He's streaky.
Yeah.
I would call it a mixed bag, a surprise package. He can get it together, and then he can really lose it. Like, I will always beat him because I'm consistent.
Yeah.
But boy, then sometimes he'll get a hold of a 5-iron, and I'm like, wow, did you really do that? Like, I mean, just a wonderful, beautiful shot. But yeah, it doesn't stick. He needs. We're friends with Peter Costas, that guy who does like he's an announcer on CBS. If Peter goes with Lou, it's like the Lou whisperer. Then Peter can handle him, and Peter can keep him on track. But there's too many thoughts. Like, he goes, well, what are you thinking when you set up to, drive the ball? Nothing, Lou. Hit the ball?
Right.
I don't know. I don't have all these thoughts. Like, his mind, it's too crowded.
Yeah, and he's thinking about the Pentagon Papers in 1968.
Just too many things.
Who knew?
And then he always says, I'm thinking, keep your head down, hit the ball. Hit the ball! Like, it's too much.
But I think the great thing about Louis Black is that he can be angry now, and people will laugh. Like, if he was in Starbucks throwing a fit, we'd all be delighted by it.
Right.
Like, this is great.
Yeah, the Trump administration has done. It's weird though, because for like 3 months he wasn't really saying anything, and I said, "Dude, you're the one they expect to say something, not me. I mean, I am saying things, and I'm not the one they expect." And he said, "I can't get my head around it. I don't even know how to talk about this. It's so preposterous. I don't know it, but now he's got it. So it took him a while.
We were talking about this earlier. It is exhausting for the country.
It's complete. Whether you like Donald or not, he has certainly been active. Unless the next president is doing bath salts, I don't know how it could possibly compare.
Like, I don't even remember. Did we talk about Bush every day or Obama every day?
We talked about Bush a decent amount. Obama felt like we were like, he's got it. And maybe everyone just like dipped out. Yeah. And maybe that's in reaction to this. But I feel like there has not been a day, not even since the election, but, since he was running that campaign, that I don't think I have said the name Trump. Like, I think every single day I've said it at one point, whether I felt like talking about it or not. Or whether
you have to.
Yeah.
He's as a narcissist, this is what they demand. This is why they're exhausting as people.
Right.
Because it has to be about them 24 hours a day.
Stalin, they said that he would bug people's houses, and if they weren't talking about him, he became furious.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, and he wanted them just to be like, you know what's the thing about Stalin? Like he just wanted to
Sit around
like,
having
yeah.
beers.
And I was like,
Relevant.
what are these guys doing talking about books? It's me. Stalin, I don't want to hear about crime and punishment. Stalin and punishment.
Well, I'm sure it's killing him to not speak about Stormy.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't tweeted, Mr. Motormouth of the century.
Yeah.
There's not been one tweet. Because if you deny it again, now you're opening yourself up to a deposition
Right.
and all that.
I was thinking that they were just playing keep away with his phone, and it was making him furious because he wants to. He wants to speak to the people.
Yeah,
He wants
to
to
get the
just say
attention back on him.
Yeah.
hashtag dead fuck is something like he would be like, really what we did? I don't even know. I was having sex. I can't say that you were. But he does have, it goes to show you at age 70, he has incredible energy. I mean, just to do that every day. Just to be in a fight a day.
Wake up. Well, it's also he doesn't drink, so there's never a
Yes.
hangover day. There's never a Drinky the Clown day where you're just, if you drink it all day, you're like, I haven't seen my phone in like 7 hours. Did I lose it? Like that never happens with Donald. It's just all pure adrenaline, narcissistic driven. Yeah, the energy's I mean, he's 71.
He's 71, and every day he has a headbutting fight. It's just crazy. And also,
at 5 in the morning,
yeah,
or earlier,
really,
those
yeah.
tweets get fired out 4 or 5. I'm like, oh my god! I sometimes I retweet them and just write, it's awake.
Just retweet, yeah.
It's up, it's up, it's up. Oh my god, it's up, and it goes till late at night.
Yeah,
it's not like it stops at 8. He's not Lyndon Johnson in bed at 8:30.
Right.
Yeah, he's the energy thing. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I don't have it now. I don't know if I've ever had that kind of energy in my life, but also because he doesn't drink, you can't say to your wife, I was so drunk I was with a porn star. You know what I mean? You
He has no excuses.
with every sober intention, I went off with a porn star.
Here's what I didn't get about her last night, though, when she said, so I went to the restroom and I came out and there he was naked, perched on the bed.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I put myself in this situation. Well, did you want to sleep with him? No. Were you attracted to him? No. I mean, I did sleep with him, but I wasn't a victim. Well, if I was that lady and I don't want to sleep with this guy, what? Leave.
Yeah. I
don't get that part. I don't get the jump in logic where there must have been something about him you liked, or you wanted the gig. Maybe she wanted that apprentice gig.
I think she was making a move to say, man, I thought maybe flirting would be enough, but now I see. Now we've taken it to this place. Now I got to go the distance. And maybe that's what she thought.
But I don't know what she wants now. Do you?
I don't either.
I don't know what she wants with the other one.
Unless they're trying to trap him to deny it again, and then you can get him in court, and then you can sue him for defamation. But like we were saying, if you're a porn star, she's saying, how does that monetarily damage you?
Right.
Because you're going to have
what
to
could
prove
possibly
that.
happen?
I don't. Are you going to say nobody's coming to? Because she was on her tour, Make America Horny Again.
Yeah.
But in Myrtle Beach, and she didn't sell out. I could sell out in Myrtle Beach as a stripper at this point. That it's all it is strip clubs in Myrtle Beach.
Have they? Yeah.
Wow, nobody went to go see Stormy.
Have they mentioned who's opening for her or who's booking that show? I'd like to.
I think it's a Yoder gig. If you check out for Michigan, it's definitely a Yoder gig, and it's summer money. So you're going to be earning summer money, Stormy, because she's more of a summer sport.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know what she wants either. I don't really get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. The Playmate came out the other day, and I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, what is it that you want?
That one really confused me because I wasn't really sure, because that was, as far as she was saying, very consensual, obviously, relationship. Didn't even end on bad terms. And then she was like, look, I just want to tell my story. I mean, I don't really understand why.
Time.
Yeah.
Well, you're not getting paid to be on 60 Minutes, so I don't know where the money's, there's, I don't know to him, because he called them all liars. That would upset me.
Yeah.
If some guy's on TV going, all those women are liars, I never slept with anyone, and I know you slept with me, you might want to go, no, you're just a big fat liar. How about that? Maybe it's just simple playground stuff.
Yeah.
You're the, I don't.
I think Anderson Cooper comes off like he doesn't know what he's doing with this thing either. I just don't feel like he made us understand why we were watching that.
No, and he asked her.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be telling us.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be finding out right now, live. Like, so why are you even here? Dude, it's your guest. You should know why your guest was booked. You don't have any idea? That was very strange.
Yeah.
Maybe he could do New Year's Eve with her from Times Square together, the two of them.
Yeah. So instead of Kathy, we've got Stormy.
Kathy's thing was always funny to me, too, because I couldn't imagine her losing a single fan for doing that thing. Wasn't most of Kathy's fans gay guys?
Yeah.
They're not going to get upset that she did that.
No,
I think
it wasn't. I don't think that it was that they wouldn't show up to the gig. I think they would have. I think the theaters don't want to deal with the security.
Oh, the theaters were
when you say, well, I know for a fact with Cosby that was some of the case because I was working the same theaters that he had just done.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we don't want to deal with that. You're going to have to staff it with 20 times more security and fighting and, nobody... I would imagine that was the case. Not that her fans wouldn't attend because she's back out on the road.
Yeah, she's back out on the road.
Yeah.
She's doing well and everything went her way.
Yeah.
Had you heard any of the Cosby stuff before?
Yeah.
You had?
I felt like that was
a known fact.
Like none of this surprises me at all anymore. Like with anything I hear, even the Charlie Rose thing, and they're like, isn't that shocking? I'm like, no, he's still a dude in a position of power. It would be shocking if you told me he was a furry.
Right,
I'd be like, what? What's this animal? Really? He's a squirrel on the weekends? That's crazy. Where did he get his costume? I mean, that's just not the Cosby thing, though. I thought everybody kind of knew.
Yeah.
Because the Inquirer did say that a long time ago. I thought that was like grocery store news, like not just comics heard. Oh, well, there's this creepy thing going on.
Because I remember you told me, and this was a few years before it became so publicly known.
Yeah.
And you had told me because I was telling you a story about somebody who had a bad story about him. Not necessarily a sexual story, but just him being very cruel to someone. And you said, well, these rumors had been around for years.
For a long time,
and I actually didn't know it. So you had told me that.
But
and
yours was like a friend or something?
Yeah, the story is so fucking creepy. But the story is that when he was a little boy, his mother was single.
Your friend?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
His mother was single, and she was kind of always was going out to clubs and going out. And one night she came home, and he swears it, with Bill Cosby. And she said, wow. This is Mr. Cosby. Are you excited? And he was like in shock. And Bill Cosby just like said nothing. He just kept looking at him, just like didn't say hello, wasn't being nice. And he was like, this is kind of strange. And he was a kid, and he just like turned the TV up loud, and his mom went in the other room. And there were noises,
just
but
round.
He's like, I don't know, but I was very young. And he said that finally the door opens. Cosby comes out. He walks up to him, this small boy, grabs him by his thumb and pushes it back really hard, as far as he can, while looking into his eye. And he just is petrified. He doesn't say anything. And finally, Cosby just lets go and walks out of the room.
Never said a word to him.
Never spoke a word to him.
How odd.
And he felt like it was an intimidation thing, like, don't you ever say I was here with your mother.
And that was like the bully thing when you were a kid, like just take a younger kid and twist his thumb back or whatever.
And so his story was not that, it wasn't, as far as he knew, it
but
seemed
Cosby's
consensual.
been married forever, so he just didn't want the word to get out.
Exactly. That he was here with his mom, and this was a weird situation. And he's like, he wasn't saying anything about it being her being drunk or not consensual, but he certainly was there with his mom, and he certainly was like
and
giving
you heard
him
that
a sign.
Story years before. The stuff came out about Cosby.
And it was such a specific story. And I came to you and I was like, it's such a specific, weird story. This can't be made up, right? And you're like, oh, there's been weird rumors about him for a long time.
Well, it's just the whole album. He's got the whole thing about roofian.
Yeah,
he does.
Chicks.
Yeah,
I mean, he's saying it out loud. As when you listen to the joke too, it's not even that funny.
It's not.
It's just like
He's just like Spanish.
confession.
Yeah, it's just like Spanish flag. And the chicks go crazy.
There's a girl named Mary, man. You get on down there on Friday night, Spanish fly. She'll do anything. Like, whoa, dude, what's is there some sort of point or punchline here?
It's just a confession.
Yeah, super weird.
That's just late 70s weirdness with disco
that's what
that polluted
that's what
everybody.
I said to Lou. I go, you're 20 years older than me. Was this common back then? Was this like, was Bob Newhart doing that? Was this a common comedy album thing? Yeah, just tell my rape people and stuff. It's really funny.
Kathleen Madigan's in studio. Kathleen's currently on her national Boxed Wine and Bigfoot tour. Go to KathleenMadigan.com for tickets and all her dates. And Kathleen's special, Bothering Jesus, is currently streaming on Netflix. And the album Bothering Jesus is available on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, and iTunes.
Are you happy with the Netflix response that you got?
Yes, and I love working with them because it's a lot of millennials and they don't like to work really hard, and neither do I.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just like a match made in heaven. I love the way they work. It's very casual. Like, I don't even know, like HBO and Showtime, you used to have to type out your actual special.
Right.
And then they'd have to send it through the legal department, and then somebody is always bitching about something. I'm not even sure the Netflix people have watched my specials, nor do I care.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, Grandma, send us your movie, and we'll post it on Thursday. I'm like, okay, great. What time will you do that? They're like, we don't know. We like to do hard stuff after lunch. Okay, great. Like, you don't ever communicate really hardly at all. They hate landlines. It's great. They just like, texting and emailing, and there's no... It's almost like a bulletin board for us. Like, you just post what you want, just send it over to the kids, and they'll do it. And the only thing they did do is they changed the artwork. They have like a super pack of nerds over there, and I say that in a loving way. But they asked for artwork, so I paid somebody to make artwork and sent it, and went, yeah, this is what I like. This is good, fine, put that up. And the name is Bothering Jesus. And then, like, one of the days, my brother goes, dude, what are you doing with that cover? I go, what do you mean? He goes, oh, you need to go at Netflix. And they had Jesus with a crown of thorns and blood coming out of his head. And it's just Kathleen Madden bothering Jesus. I'm like, no, guys, this is coming. I don't want hate mail from Christian people going, what, you're mocking our Lord and Savior. And I said, what was that all about? They said, well, we change it up sometimes, just, visually. And then there's algorithms and some of the words. Like, that's the part where the millennials can kind of lose me, because the algorithm words come in and then they build on that. Yeah. But Jesus, and really, did Crown of Thorns come flying through your algorithm thing? I don't think so. That was the only thing. And they've stopped doing it with mine because I went mental about it, but they have done it. I still notice it's happening with other people's.
Yeah, they'll just put something new and weird up.
Yeah, I don't know who drew that. It was like drawn. Right. It wasn't like it was like a Jesus, a good drawing of him. I mean, comparatively.
Well, Chris, what do they even mean when they say algorithm? Or Vito, is either one of you guys know?
I think it's it takes what people search for. I think it just takes data and then applies it to other people, to like how you're watching Netflix.
But how would that work?
Well, here's the perfect example. The one time I had to go on to look at my old special because there was a time code thing or something. It'll lead you to the movie that it thinks is the most similar. And it said, if you've enjoyed the stand-up comedy of Kathleen Maddy, and the movie at the time that it chose to be similar was the movie Leprechaun, which, first of all, I don't know what kind of Irish racism bullshit's going on here.
Yeah.
I don't even think we have a leader. I'm like, who do I call to send a terse email? But they said, this is my younger brother because Leprechaun's a horror movie. It's not even the same genre. It's trilogies. And then I'm like, what are these? Jennifer Aniston's in them. But if you took, like, the key words would be Irish, short. So they're lining it up with the things that if people are typing in Irish Catholic comedian or Madigan, it's Irish, or it's somehow but like my brother said, even if there weren't algorithms, Kathleen, they are quite similar.
Yeah, but it is really fun. Like, if you can't really complain when you're Irish about anything because you've had. But if it was Dave Chappelle, people who like this like chitlins, you'd be like, what? We'd all be offended. But Leprechaun, we're like, ah.
But that's also the problem. Yeah. We're never offended.
No.
So at some point we need to be offended to get any kind of result. If we are, but I'm not offended. I don't mind.
No, the Notre Dame, the little fighting thing, and they're like, this is offensive, and we're like, not to us.
No,
not really.
It's fine.
Yeah.
The only offensive one would be the opposite of the leprechaun is when a leprechaun is out drinking freely, it's a cluricon. And I'm like, now you might have taken it too far. Leprechaun, good. Still kind of sober. A little bit of money, a little bit of a pot of gold. Yeah. I can grant you 3 wishes. Who doesn't want to be a leprechaun? But that's the algorithm thing that sometimes they need like an older adult in the room to go, guys, I know you're really excited about your data. And I know that it all matches up, you think, to this, but now there's no human eye to say that's not logical.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
I saw an article not too long ago where they were talking about how they will take a couple different stills or pieces of artwork from the same movie. Mm-hmm. And let's say a movie is varied. Let's say it's a comedy, but maybe there's a romantic interest, and maybe there's some action in it. And depending on you and what you usually like will depend on which image from the movie they show. So you might love rom-coms and you'll see something, but that's like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh my God, that looks really sweet.
Yeah,
and then it's an action movie.
They're tricking you like Candlebox. They had that one song that I really liked, and I bought the whole album, and nothing else sounded like that.
Yeah. Nothing else did that. That was Sugar Ray's big problem, too. They were like
one poppy song, and then like they still were hard. And like eventually they were like, hey, it seems like everyone likes the poppy stuff.
Yeah.
And then they started going, but like that first album, we're like, nothing else sounds like Fly, dude. Like nothing else sounds like that.
So Netflix is doing that too to people. They don't even know it.
Well, that is true though, because like when I look, I want to watch a detective movie, but that's under thriller, the same place slasher movies go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
Like
that's not the
no,
same.
I want a detective going around solving some crime. That's what I want.
You don't want to.
I'm getting older, and I just want to see a detective solve a crime.
Doesn't mean that you just like want to see a close up of a girl like stabbed in the breast over and over.
Do you need to go to the British ones though? Because I find a lot of those that I can watch on the treadmill, and they're all just good enough.
Yes.
Like I'm watching in the middle of one now called Marcella. I don't really. She's a female detective in London. You don't know any of the actors. Great. I don't want to know any of them. Like, oh, look at this new group of people doing things. Wonderful. There's no idiot Americans in them, but it's not great. But it's fine.
You just want to pass
And she's
time.
solving things like you want. She's getting some stuff done out on the streets of London.
You know why they underestimated her? I want to see people that are underestimated.
Overachieve. Let's see, underestimated people overachieve. That's where it's come in our life.
Yeah.
That's the best. Is like the detective has to be like a young gun who doesn't like they didn't think could do it, or like he's over the hill and he's lost his touch, and this is like his one time to show that he isn't.
But when I was a kid, I would make fun of like my grandmother watching Murder, She Wrote. Now it's all I want. I just want that kind of a show. I don't know why. I have no idea why I want that, but I do.
It's closure.
Yeah.
Because there's no closure in anything else, and you want it in an hour.
Yeah, and I also want to feed ducks. I don't know what's going on right now. It might be near the end.
Kathleen Madigan's in studio. She's currently on her national boxed wine and Bigfoot tour. Go to KathleenMadigan.com for tickets and all her dates. And her special, Bothering Jesus, is currently streaming on Netflix. And Bothering Jesus, the album, is available now on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, and iTunes.
Did you really want to give Lewis a call, or were you just kidding about that?
Yeah, we should call him.
Yeah. You got his number, Chris?
I do not have his number.
All right.
I have it.
Yeah, write it down for him.
You want it?
Don't see it. Don't say it. We're on the radio.
We'll call his cell, but he'll probably say call back to my house if he's he likes that line better.
I don't blame him because cell phones stink for radio.
Well, even now, do you really still believe that? I feel like
man, we get calls all the time. They're terrible.
Yeah. I haven't figured out the cell phone signal yet to be consistent at all.
Who are you normally on the road with?
I switch it up a lot. I use Keith Alberstadt, Vic Henley, Ryan
He's great.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
I hope to get out a few times this summer.
Until he's...
I pay good dollar, baby. I pay high prices. But I really do like, I won't mention the one comic, but one of the openers he uses is terrible. And I go, why do you do that? He goes, because then when I go out there, I'm the funniest man they've seen all night. And I'm like, yeah, but I feel like if they paid $35 to $45 to see me, the whole show should be good.
It should be. I agree.
And lately, like, there's a young guy in New York, Ron and Hirschberg. He's really funny. And then regionally, I got guys like I have a Florida guy because it's just hard to get to Florida. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So I like switching it up too because then everybody's excited and you're happy to see each other. And
it would be fun with Vic Henley just to figure out a place that he didn't know somebody or a topic that he didn't know quite a bit about.
He can talk about anything.
He can talk about anything and bring it back to Auburn. I don't know how
somehow,
he does it.
and Terry Henley. It all goes back to his brother Terry Henley. My brother Terry Henley. Vic's good on the road too. If I have like a lot of people at a backstage that I have to meet, and there's like some I don't want to, I make Vic do it. Like,
no
see
problem.
those four in the corner? There's yours, Vic. Make it work. All right. Where are y'all from? He's a perfect backstage guy too. For that.
He's also, like we said about Trump, his energy is always high. And then he and Sherrod hang out together. Sherrod's small, always has high energy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Million miles an hour. Go.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And
then when he drinks, he has even more energy. I'm like, this isn't working the right way, Vic. He's like, I've already had like 6 tequilas, 4 Bud Lights, and I'm working on a margarita. And I'm like, wow.
And he also has algorithms that'll take him into the next conversation. Hey, Matt, what's up, buddy?
Hi, Ron. How you guys doing? Bennington's.
Cool. What's up?
I was just listening to you guys. You're talking about looking for detective movies on Netflix.
Yeah.
Jeff Garland from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's got a nice one. It's called Handsome. I think you'd like it.
I did watch it.
It's a detective movie?
Yeah, he's like PI or something.
Is it a comedy?
Well, he pretty much plays Jeff Garland if Garland was looking for somebody.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. I do want to see that.
Well, then I should be able to get one.
Yeah, you should be.
Can I go looking for somebody? That's why I like Marcella, because she's a lady and her kids have grown up and she's got nothing to do, so she decides to go back to being a detective. But she also might be committing the murder. So
Jesus. Someone, I'm so excited. I'm going to get home and do this. Garland does a lot of things because he'll write, produce, star, direct. He'll just do the whole thing. I think he just comes in as a nice budget, and then he has a bunch of friends in
they
LA, and
say okay.
Yeah, I'll do a day with you.
Yeah, you can go look for criminals you won't find. Does he find them? Does he solve his crimes?
Yeah. Did you ever watch that Tinker Tailor thing? It's so relaxing. I've seen it 8 times. I have no idea what they did. They're all British spies, and it's all the big stars.
I haven't seen that.
Tinker Tailor, Soldier, Thief,
Spy.
Spy.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I went down the Narcos and then El Chapo sinkhole, and I had to watch like House Hunters to calm me down after
It's
El
too
Chapo.
brutal, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I kind of got off on it in a weird way, and I'm like, I am El Cato! Since Chapo already means Shorty, he already took it. I'm like, fine, I'll be Cato, forget.
Yeah.
Like, just the way it was also, everything was so, even a drink. Like, they'd always go kill a bunch of people, and then just like, see? And they just start slamming whiskey like John Wayne, and I'm like, wow.
I just always believed that Ron White was one special away from that being his life. I think if he didn't hit when he hit, he would have been just as comfortable going into that.
He lived in Mexico with his little factory. I'm like, this is getting weird, Ron. What are you really running from? You're not building tables.
Pottery.
Yeah, mosaic tables. Yeah.
Do we got Lois?
Yes, we do.
Oh.
Wow, Lois Black. Lois.
Hey there.
Good to talk to you, buddy. Kathleen is here.
Lucky break for you.
You said call, so we're calling. They were asking because I watched the Stormy Daniels thing with him last night. now that you've had time to think about it and the Duke loss is under your belt.
That last second Duke loss, too, because that layup was right there.
Well, he was
No one. Because he's not a good person.
He is a bad person.
That's what happens. Sometimes bad things happen to bad people. You know? So that's what gives me hope.
It's so sweet that you believe that, though.
Well, it doesn't happen very often, does it?
What did you think of this Stormy Daniels thing? Does this make any sense to you, Louis?
You know, it's really, it's just unbelievable. I mean, it really is just beyond. It just has gone beyond anything. There's really. I mean, we're just insane. We're insane.
We've lost it. We've stepped off.
We really. There used to be a way. You know, this is not. Look, do I care who he's poking? No, I don't care who he's poking. But you know, 2 in a week, and then it was really, and then the wife, and nobody, and they keep giving him what do you call it? The evangelicals don't seem to, you know, they've given up everything.
Yeah, they have.
Well, I mean, you know, the whole concept of hell gets thrown out the window.
Well, that happened.
I rely on that. That's where I'm going.
That happened, and they backed him up. And then he turned around and gave $500 million to Planned Parenthood, which apparently was the only reason they were backing him in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't even know why anybody is doing anything anymore.
No, well, he's just, you know, and whatever it is that's going on there with her, I mean, it was like, you know, can 60 Minutes get me any real information?
No.
Well, then at the end when they told us, well, if you want some more of this, you know, go to the website. No, you're a show. You're supposed to show us.
I agree.
Don't make me go do work. I didn't turn on the TV to go to a computer, jackass. Tell me what you have. And was the next story... We didn't even watch it, did we? We turned it off. But the next story couldn't have been more important than what was left over. Just make the whole episode stormy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get. Wasn't it
or that was the best of it, and the rest was just recipes that she liked.
Stormy pie.
The other big story was the black kid from Greece who is such a great basketball player.
Right, but that's fine. But that's an evergreen story.
Yeah, that can always go in.
Show it 7 Sundays from now. I don't like the. Oh, were you having fun watching this show?
Yeah,
it's like PBS. You enjoying this? We need $8. What? And we're not showing it. Peter, Paul, and Mary are not going to sing. The rest of Kathleen, I know you want to hear Puff the Magic Dragon.
It is still the same artist on PBS. After
it's John Denver and Peter, Paul, and Mary. I love it. I love John Denver. And we were talking, Louis and I were talking about too. What did Melania sign?
Yeah,
that you are still sitting through this mess.
Yeah.
I don't think whatever she signed would still be valid. I think if she wanted to leave now, I think you could get out of whatever you signed.
Yeah.
And what would you think Hollywood would pay for that story? You know what I mean? No matter what she would owe back, you know, that's a giant hit.
Right. It would be even better if she did. Her accent, to me, it just sounds so...
You know, and the amount of abuse in a sense that, you know, she has to take on a certain level is, you know, it's, you know, but, you know, plus she's the one who takes care of Barron. She's the one who has to deal with that. I mean, you know, he doesn't even kind of come out and go, she's the one who today said, you know, can you keep him out of this?
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
he always looks at him when he sees him like, wow, you got tall. You know, like you say about a niece or nephew at Easter. Well, then you get big. It's a pretty disconnect there.
I saw like Don Jr. was campaigning in PA, and he goes, I've lived in Pennsylvania since I was 12 years old when I went in, when, you know, they put me in boarding school. And I'm like, that's sad. It would have been nice if you would have spent some time with your parents before you were 12 and you're out in the streets.
Really? No. I've said that, but recently when, you know, he's been going through his own marital stuff, and I said that he actually is one of the few people who put so much product in his hair that when he comes on TV, I can smell him.
Well, I was telling Lou, John Jr. did break away for 1 year and went to be a bartender in Colorado.
Yeah.
And I guess that 1 year of not having all the money in the world, and he went, nope, I'm re-signing. I'm going back with... like if my dad said tomorrow, I think I'm going to run for president, all 7 of us would be like, well, you have fun, Jack.
Right.
Let us know what happens.
Yeah.
We have lives. Like, we got stuff to do. I'm not quitting comedy to run around and go, my dad, my father, the way they pronounce it. My father. Like, I don't get why they didn't have anything else to do before now.
Right.
It's weird. You're 40. You should have a real job. I mean, you're not 20 where you're like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. As long as you give me some beer money, gas money, that's cool. Like, they shouldn't just be available to devote yourself.
What does Tiffany do?
She's an Instagram star.
She makes the stained glass. She's really good.
Great. Stuff is beautiful.
She's very talented.
I think all she does is post on Instagram.
Yeah.
She clearly is not in for the seriousness of it all. She's like, oh my God, every post, there's a million posts on Instagram. Oh my God.
I do like the little one, whatever the Baron is to me, like Richie Rich. You know what I mean? There's the poor little rich boy thing. Because I was like, they're going to the helicopter. He never has a friend from school.
Yeah.
Have a friend from school.
So
He's got to go to Florida for the weekend.
And like all his siblings are like,
they're like his
30 years older
Yeah.
than him.
That would suck to be the last one. And you're in the... Well, they're not. No, they're in New York. He's not in the White House.
No, he's in D.C. Yeah, they moved him down there after he finished the school year.
Oh, I thought he moved back.
No.
I thought it went, I don't know.
No, he's down there.
It's lonely.
Because then somebody...
Lonely. I mean, the weirdest thing is to be at the end that, that's, Trump's procreated that much, and then you're the end of that.
Yeah.
How much octane was left in that sperm?
Here's how dumb Lewis and I can be too. So the Story Daniel thing ends, and we're both like, well, that was like a Geraldo's vault deal, right? There wasn't anything in the vault, but now we're so old that we're looking at each other going, well, did we miss something? And then we decided, so maybe her baby is Trump's. Well, because of the timing of it.
Yeah.
And Lou goes, oh, yeah, that was probably, like, we think we missed it.
Right.
Like, well, what did we miss? Because she kept saying, and then I had my baby girl. Then why are you asking her if she had unprotected sex? Is that to make us think that maybe he's the daddy?
He's obsessed with that,
You
by
were
the way.
doing more work than Anderson Cooper.
You are.
Absolutely.
You were trying to solve the case.
You're Marcella right now.
Well, then why are you asking if you had unprotected sex unless there's a paternity issue? Or do you have, like Lou said, well, maybe she's got herpes. Or maybe, like, why aren't they didn't even make...
No, none of it made sense to me at all either.
And they're both at the same golf tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is just
the Playmate and her and the porn star that took place on the same weekend.
Which is a tournament they've invited me and Lou to many times, and we haven't gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, I told you, Lou. I knew that was a weird crowd out there.
Yeah. And we couldn't even get, and they wouldn't even give us the same, they wouldn't even allow us in the same room together, Kathleen and I.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and he gets the porn star, and we're not allowed to go in the same room.
And they wouldn't let us golf together. And I'm like, well, then we're not coming.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Right.
We got to wrap this up. Thanks so much, Louis, for jumping on the air with us.
Oh, no, my pleasure. It's always a pleasure, and thanks a lot for giving me a call, because otherwise I'm just sitting here waiting for prepare for my colonoscopy tomorrow. I just wanted to share that with everybody and let them know what I'm up to out here in the big world.
And Kathleen Madigan's been in studio. Kathleen's currently on her National Boxed Wine and Bigfoot Tour. Go to KathleenMadigan.com for tickets and all her dates. Kathleen's special, Bothering Jesus, is currently available on Netflix, and her album, Bothering Jesus, is available now on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, and iTunes.
So funny. Thank you so much, my
thanks,
friend.
guys. Bye, Lou.
And that's it for us. See you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!